sold-out stadiums. Deafening noise. Hostile environments.
Look at this. This is just spectacular.
Electric atmospheres.
These people are losing their mind. This is beautiful.
Your favorite time of the year is back.
Welcome to the Terrordome, baby.
Every snap.
Play action fake. Wells facing pressure, airing it out down the left sideline. It is caught. Dwayne Lofton into the end zone. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. 54 yards to the house.
Every hit.
Receives the snap, looks to the right under pressure, taken down yet again.
Every touchdown.
With a burst of speed, it's King in the open field. 35-40, 35-30, there he goes. He's gone. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. A monstrous run.
This is college football on 3304 Sports. Now it's time for your pregame coverage. Let's head up to the booth for your 3304 Sports pregame report.
Live from the Derby City and from the shadows of Churchill Downs, we are live here at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium, home of the Louisville Cardinals as they play host to the Virginia Tech Hokies in a battle for second place in the ACC. Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's game. I'm Nick Brown. To my right, the lovely Giovanni Heater as we get you set for an ACC clash between these two teams for only the second time since they've been in the conference together.
Yeah, it's crazy, Nick. These two teams only meeting off for the second time, like you just mentioned. Last time these two teams played, it was back in 2020. It was right here in Louisville. It was the COVID season. Virginia Tech was able to pull off a big-time win, ended up taking it home in a shootout. 45-38 was the final score. Certainly a fun one, and these two teams looking to renew a little bit. With all the scheduling change and all the conference realignment, it's kind of bizarre that these two foes have only played twice.
Certainly is. Fans starting to file in today. We've got about 12 minutes till kickoff. We got a flyover everywhere. It is just a picture-perfect day for some football. Just around the mid-60s today. It'll drop to the high 50s when the sun goes down. Just couldn't script a better day for college football.
No, you couldn't. Absolutely beautiful. You know, the crowd's starting to file in a little bit here. A 3:30 kick. You know, you got that middle-of-the-day slot for college football, and what a juggernaut of a game, right? Winner is in the passenger's seat on the road to the ACC championship. Florida State certainly in control of the conference, but between Virginia Tech and Louisville, the winner today has sole possession of second place, and the table could not be set any higher.
Certainly could not. Louisville will be shorthanded today with a couple of injuries, a couple of big-time ones. First with Jamari Thrash.
Yeah, Jamari Thrash is going to be out today. In fact, it was just released that he underwent surgery, so the question mark is how long are they going to be without Jamari Thrash? But this is a guy that leads the team in receptions with 46. Second most is Kevin Coleman with 17. Really, besides Jawar Jordan, you could not be missing a more important piece.
And then we'll flip the script over to the defensive side where their top defensive back, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who has only given up 5 completions all season long, is out as well.
Yeah, that's a massive miss on the defensive side. A defense that is very, very good, both in pass and rushing defense, specifically dominant on the rushing defense side of things. But that's a guy in pass coverage that you need in a lockdown corner, and certainly somebody that they're going to miss.
Well, Virginia Tech is a full 100% go. Everybody on the docket. It all gets started with the redshirt sophomore quarterback, Kyron Drones, in which the Hokies have reshaped this offense around.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable what Tyler Bowen, Brent Pry, and this staff have done to really revolutionize the offense. For the first time, fans in Blacksburg have an offense that is fun and exciting to watch, and they have a centerpiece at quarterback that can really do it all. A dynamic thrower, an even better runner, incredibly athletic. He's tall, he's very, very physical, and he plays his brand of football. Kyron Drones is that guy in Blacksburg right now, and he has this team and this offense firing on all cylinders.
Now Virginia Tech's strength is running the football, and they are led by what Brent Price says is the best 1-2 punch in the country, Bashal Tootin and Malachi Thomas.
Yeah, that's a big statement for a head coach to make, right? To call his 1-2 punch the best in the country. And, I don't think that he's wrong. Bashal Tootin is an incredibly physical runner, as we have a beautiful skydiver drop down here right at midfield in Louisville. And Bayshul Tootin is a dynamic running back, a transfer out of North Carolina A&T, and then Malachi Thomas, a guy that's been around for a couple of years in his third season here in Blacksburg, has understood what it means to play the role as number 2, but has played it incredibly well, and he's really stepped up big in the last 3 weeks.
Well, like you said, winner of this will be sole possession of second place in the ACC, but you know who's catching up is Boston College as they took down Syracuse, so that will be an interesting game next week when Virginia Tech takes on. Now, of course, that all matters if Virginia Tech pulls out a win today. Well, we'll step aside for a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll have you continue to be prepped between Virginia Tech and Louisville here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Be sure to check out The Beat after tonight's ball game. Head over to the 3304 Sports website for in-depth written coverage of every snap. Our writers and editors work tirelessly to produce written content covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Feature stories, game recaps, and so much more. All things, all sports, all the time. This is 3304 Sports.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
It's time to find out what's going on across the landscape of college football. For today's scoreboard update and the rest of your pregame coverage, we send you back up to the booth.
Welcome back to L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium as we get you ready for Louisville and Virginia Tech. But beforehand, let's take a look across the league, and especially the ACC and a couple other games around the country. Of course, last week, Syracuse and Boston College did battle up in the Dome, and, well, how about Boston College?
Yeah.
What a turnaround they've had.
Yeah, Boston College looks really good, and they're led by a very, very dynamic and athletic quarterback in Castellanos. He really can run across the yard, and, you know, it's a team that Virginia Tech could have their hands full in Chestnut Hill a week ago. Not to look ahead by any means, but BC, I mean, you talk about a team that is very much in the mix of things. That makes this game between Louisville and Virginia Tech all the much more important. The Eagles, a team that certainly looked like they could go bowling and maybe even stir the pot a little bit in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Well, it looks like Clemson is going to take the win over Notre Dame. A bounce-back victory for Dabo Swinney and his Tigers. 31-23 is the final there. As we look across the rest of the country, a lot of ranked teams in battle.
Yeah.
Of course, Georgia Tech and UVA, 17-7. The Yellow Jackets on top of the Wahoos at the very moment. And that should just about do it for the current ACC slate that is in action. Of course, Ohio State taking on Rutgers 28-16. Kansas State and Texas 30-27. Longhorns on top there. And a couple of other games as Texas A&M just took a late lead over Ole Miss 35-31. Not much else in action at the very moment, but we've got you covered here in about 6 minutes. Ready for it's Military Appreciation Day here in Louisville. They'll be wearing their all-black uniforms and their ROTC program in full effect here as well. The 13th ranked team in the country according to the College Football Playoff Committee in the first edition of the rankings this year. How big is it for the Cardinals to continue their winning streak today?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, this is the most positive momentum that this program has had since Lamar Jackson was here. And they were ranked as high as third in the country. And they had a Heisman Trophy winner under center. And that just feels like it was so long ago, right? And then enter Jeff Brom in his first year at the helm. They got their guy. I mean, you could not have it made better if you're a Louisville fan. You have one of the best quarterbacks in your program's history as the head coach. His brother, who was even better as a quarterback, as is the offensive coordinator. They both come home, and they're running the football program. And, in their first year, they're 7-1 right now and number 13 in the country, and the ship just could not be moving in a more positive direction. I mean, you have it absolutely made if you're a Cards fan.
I tell you what, he has nailed the transfer portal and has really developed some players quickly. And like you said, in his first season at the helm, 7-1. What a start he has for his Cardinals. Coming off of a 6-season stint at Purdue. Mr. Heater, what are your keys to the game today?
Yeah, you look at the keys to the game, and I think first for Louisville, it's finding production offensively without Jamari Thrash, getting the other receivers involved. Don't get me wrong, this is a very, very talented bunch, and I think they really could be just fine. Kevin Coleman, Jimmy Callaway, Jaden Thompson, those guys are going to have to get going and depend on your tailback, Jawar Jordan, if indeed he is healthy. Just because he's playing does not mean he's 100%, so it's definitely something to look out for.
Hamstrings are very finicky as well.
Yes, and then and a wrist issue is part of the equation as well for him. And then you look on the other side, if you're Virginia Tech, I think you have to do what you've been doing, and you got nothing to lose. Come out, play confident, play your brand of football. This really is not shaping up to be a hostile crowd, I don't believe, Nick. And, if I'm Virginia Tech, as the Cards take the field, I'm trying to get after the quarterback. 15 sacks in the last 2 weeks. 8 of them a week ago, 7 the week before. They're number 4 in the country in sacking the quarterback. They're number 1 in the ACC. Got to get after Plummer today.
That is certainly the case as both teams take the field. At the very moment, Louisville in white jerseys, black pants, black jerseys, and Virginia Tech road white jerseys and pants and maroon helmets. We'll step aside for one more commercial break. When we come back, kickoff between Virginia Tech and Louisville here from the Derby City.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage. Warm-ups are done, the pregame festivities have come to a close, and both teams are ready to rock the gridiron. We're moments away from kickoff on 3304 Sports. For the call of today's game, let's send you up to the booth.
From the Bluegrass State, it's Virginia Tech taking on the homestanding Cardinals of Louisville, who are ranked number 13 in the college football playoff rankings, number 15 in the AP poll. Whatever way you want to look at it, they're one of the top 5 teams in the country, and they certainly deserve it. 7-1 on the year with only one slip-up and a rainy day in the Steel City at Pittsburgh. Virginia Tech trying to play spoiler here. Started the season 1-3. Since then, they are 3-1 on the year, 4-4. And with a win today, would be in the driver's seat for second place in the ACC and looking for an ACC championship berth. Louisville trying to do the exact same except defend their home turf. 1 minute away from kickoff. I'm Nick Brown. He's Giovanni Heater. Let's have a good day of football today.
Yeah, why not, right? I mean, this is not one of those games that is jumping off the page on the national landscape, but if you're an ACC football fan, this is the game of the week. You got 2 teams duking it out for the driver's seat, second place in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and the winner today essentially controls their own destiny the final 3 weeks of the year with an opportunity to play, let's get real, Florida State in the ACC championship game. So this is just such a big game between 2 teams that, yeah, they didn't start the season the same, but, coming in today are darn good football teams.
As the train horn blasts, it is a picture-perfect day in the Derby City. Louisville, like I said, black pants, black jerseys, white numbers, and white helmets. Virginia Tech, white jerseys, white pants, maroon numbers, and maroon helmets. To boot the ball deep for the Cardinals today, number 41, Brock Travelstead, and back to return the kick for Virginia Tech, Malachi Thomas and Bayshell Tootin. The running back tandem await at the 5 and the goal line. As Travel said, trots up to the football, swings the leg, end over end, through the back of the end zone, and that is how we get things started with a touchback. The turf field is ready to go. The retro Cardinal with the Heisman pose at 50-yard line. Virginia Tech will be working left to right on your radio dial here in the first quarter.
You know, Nick, not a huge crowd today, but loud. Being vocal already are the Cardinal faithful.
Everybody on their feet for the opening play of the game. Kyron Drones in the gun at the far hash at the 25-yard line. 4 wideouts split by the O-line. Tootin is the running back on his right hip. Motion to man from left to right. Fakes the jet sweep. Drops back to pass. In trouble and sacked. Back at the 10. A devastating hit there. Stephen Herron with the tackle, the initial hit. And that Cardinals get after Drones on the opening play. Wow, right up the gut.
Yeah, Herron, a guy that's absolutely buried on the depth chart coming into today. Not even on the 3 deep at his position. Gets in the backfield in a hurry. What an electric start for the Cards.
A loss of 10, and it is 2nd down and 20 from the 15. Motion from left to right. Shotgun snap. They'll just hand it off to Tootin, who wiggles his way through a hole. He's got a pickup of about 7, and that will bring up 3rd down and 13 out to the 22. Third down and 14, officially at the 21-yard line. Drones in the gun, Tootin on his hip, 4 wide out split. At the far hash, they have to get to the 35. Man in motion, flags all over the place. It's a false start. That'll make a
false start. Offense number 65, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Couldn't write up a worse start right now if you're Virginia Tech. You get sacked on the first play of the ball game, a slow run, and then now you set yourself back even further here with a false start.
3rd down and 19. Backing the Hokies up to the 16-yard line. Once again, they have to get to the 35 to move the chains. Drones barks out orders to his offensive line. 1 wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. 1 running back in the backfield. Daquan Wright, motion from right to left on the line. Shotgun snap for Drones. Looks right immediately. Dumps it off to Jalen Lane, and he is upended. Back at the 13. The Cardinals of Louisville hunting down the Hokies on the opening drive, and it's a 3 and out. Antonio Watts with the hit, and out comes Peter Moore for Virginia Tech.
Slow start if you're Virginia Tech, man. You had an opportunity, and you kind of shoot yourself in the foot with that penalty, but it's the sack, right? You start a drive, first one of the ball game with a sack, and how about that out of the Louisville defense? That's all the momentum you could ask for, really. A tough way to start if you're the Hokies 3 and out.
Kevin Coleman back to receive the punt. He stands at his own 45. Peter Moore at his own goal line. Receives the snap. Cardinals don't bring any pressure. The punt is away. It's a wobbler that's going to land at the 45 and trickle out to the 50, and it will stop dead center of the Louisville Cardinal at midfield.
Boy, he just missed getting it across midfield, and this is going to be plus territory for the Cards at the 49-yard line. Detrimental, a guy that's been such a strong punter all year. Peter Moore, a captain on this team for the Hokies. He's put 14 punts inside the 20 this year, averaging 44 yards per punt, and that one did not go 44 yards, Mr. Brown.
In the chest of the Card at midfield. Ball officially at the 49 on Virginia Tech's side of the field. Cardinals working right to left with the football plumber and the pistol. Motion to man from left to right. Takes the snap, distributes it right up the middle, and running into a brick wall is Jawar Jordan, and he is turned back at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss. Stephen Peoples with the pressure and the hit right up the gut. He is a full go today as well. No Jalen Stroman, who was banged up today, last week against Syracuse. Was a full participant in warm-ups, but does not get the starting nod.
Yeah, that's a big play by Peoples, right? Your safety ended up making the stop, and it still didn't go for a gain. That's impressive. Got him on the blitz with the run stop.
A trio of receivers to the left. Jordan is the back on the left hip of Plummer, who stands in the gun. Taking the snap, sweeping handoff, pulled it out, play action, dumps it off at the 45 where it is caught, weaseling his way to the 35, breaking tackles and rumbling down to the 30 is Chris Bell. officially at the 30-yard line. He's going to have to step up today with the absence of Thrashwell. All of these receivers are going to have to step up.
Yeah, you bet. And a touchdown-saving type tackle by Mansour Delane, as well as Bell had a lot of green grass.
Cards go fast. Ball at the 31. Shotgun snap. Handoff to Jordan. Flags all over the place. And this is a false start. Got a little too fast on that snap.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, each team with a false start now, Mr. Brown.
Backing up the Cards to the 36-yard line now, after the solid gain of around 19 yards on the previous play on the screen pass to Bell. At the near hash, Cardinals in their black uniforms working right to left. Jordan is the back on the right hip of Plummer. Trio of receivers to his left, one to his right. Motions a man from left to right. Takes a snap. Distributes a handoff, a sweeping handoff. Jordan jukes his way for a gain of 4, brings up second down and 11. Virginia Tech's run defense looking pretty darn good right there as Alan Tisdale wraps him up. 2 carries for Jordan and only 4 yards mustered.
You know, they've had to key in on that all week, right? Virginia Tech, the numbers pop out that you could say they're bad at stopping the run. I believe that's not the case. They're bad at giving up the big play is what it ends up being, Nick. They do actually do a nice job between the hashes stopping the run.
In the pistol, it's Plummer. Jordan right behind him. Motions a man to the line of scrimmage. Power football as they hand it off to Jordan. Plummer pulls it out. Read option, keeper himself. He has caught it from behind and dropped at the 25. A solid carry of around 7, and it brings up 3rd down and 4. Nasir Peoples in there again for his second tackle of the game. Ball's at the 25. The Cardinals have to get to the 21 if they want to move the chains.
Yeah, Peoples been busy early on, Nick.
Couple of line substitutions here for Virginia Tech as the 2D tackles come in and out. Plummer will stand in the gun, trips to his right, one to his left. Jordan the back. 2 safeties back for Virginia Tech. Plummer barks orders to his offensive line. They get set for the play. Hokies show pressure. 7-man front, hiking the hide. Hand off to Jordan. He breaks free, gets to the line to gain. Is it enough? Is it enough? No, they're going to mark him a yard short. Whoa, that's a tough spot there for the Cardinals. Kelly Lawson with his ranging arms brought him down just 1 yard short. I personally thought Jordan had the line to gain, but that's how the cookie crumbles for Jordan.
Kelly Lawson, such a physical tackler. He's so lengthy as well, like you mentioned, Nick. A true Sunday body, as they call it. An NFL-type body at that linebacker spot. Really can do a lot of things defensively.
Well, here we go. Jack Plummer is going to step out onto the field. They're going to go for this football. This 4th down, actually, I'll take that back. They're going to call a timeout right here and talk things over and see if they'll put out the offense for this 4th down and 1.
Media timeout.
We'll step aside for 3 minutes, and when we come back, we'll have the 4th down decision for you from the Derby City on 3304 Sports.
Hey, sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
All right, decision time for Jeff Brom and his Cardinals as they face a 4th down and 1 at the Virginia Tech 22-yard line. They have to get to the 21 if they move the chains. They can attempt a field goal, but right now it seems the offense is going to break this huddle. I'm Nick Brown, to my right, Giovanni Heater, 0-0 with 9:16 to go here in the first quarter. And, Louisville's going to trot out their offense. They're going to go for this right here.
What are your thoughts on the call, Mr. Brown?
I think it's aggressive, and, you want to take momentum first? Here you go.
Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out for him.
Big boys versus big boys. Jack Plummer under center. Jawar Jordan is the running back behind him. A fullback there as well. 4th and 1. Plummer takes the snap. Hand off to Jordan. He squeezes through and gets the first down all the way out to the 18.
I mean, why not, right? You got one of the best. Granted, he's not one of the biggest, but definitely one of the best running backs in the entire country. The best in the ACC, not only statistically, but against the eye test as well. When you got a guy like that can carry the load, give him the football, Nick.
Averaging 7.5 yards per carry. The power eye in formation now as Plummer goes under center again. Fullback separating him and Jordan at the 19, and the Hokies get offsides. Smart play by Plummer to just take a knee. He knew they jumped off, so he was just going to take a knee. No harm and no chance of getting hit there.
Offside, causing the offense to react. Defense number 6. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Josh Fuga, the culprit of the crime, and now it's going to be 1st down and 5 at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, he definitely jumped early on that one, Nick. The snap count got him. Unfortunately, Hokies kind of fallen into a little bit of an early penalty bug here, both on the offensive and the defensive side now.
Cards in the red zone with 8:33 and rolling here in the first quarter. Power eye once again at the 14 in the near hash. Louisville working right to left. Plummer takes the snap, a stretch play to the left for Jordan. He wiggles his way down to the 10 where he is stood up and bodied at the line to gain, officially at the 10-yard line.
That's a big physical run, and that's bodies colliding right at the line to gain. You think both these teams don't want it, both of them playing with that extra little bit of effort. And, we'll see how this plays in, because remember, Jawar Jordan was a little bit banged up coming into this and was questionable today with a hamstring and a wrist. We'll see how many hits like that he can take and sustain throughout this ball game.
2nd down and 1 at the 10. Plummer in the gun. 2 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the pigskin, delivers it to Jordan, a gaping hole, and he powers his way down to the goal line. At the 1-yard line, he is stopped. That was actually Isaac Garendo who came in, giving Jordan a break. Nasir Peoples with the touchdown-saving tackle at the middle of the hashes at the 1.
Yeah, and he had to. He was the absolute last line of defense, and he took him down at the ankles right at the goal line, Nick. Safety back there waiting in pass coverage, and Garendo got through everybody.
7:10 and rolling in the first quarter. Louisville trying to strike first. Plummer under center. Power eye once again. Everybody up on the line. Plummer takes the snap, handoff to Jordan, leaping into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Louisville draws first blood.
Simple halfback dive up the middle when you got one of the best in all of college football. Why not? Jawar Jordan goes airborne over the goal line. Cardinals put a stamp on this thing early after Virginia Tech goes 3 and out with a sack to start the ball game. Cardinals get the ball right back. They get it in plus territory at the 49. And what do? Go on a 49-yard drive.
Travelstead's extra point is good. He is now 30 for 30 on the season. 7-0 is our score here in Louisville, Kentucky, as the Cardinals lead the Hokies with 6:53 to go in the first quarter. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Hey sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kickoff Show every Friday afternoon on the 3304 Sports YouTube channel. We talk all things Virginia Tech Hokies football all the time. Feature stories, panelist discussions, opponent analysis, and so much more. The 3304 Sports Kickoff Show, your pregame destination for college football, week in and week out.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium, where Louisville leads Virginia Tech 7-0 here on a gorgeous Saturday in the Derby City. I'm Nick Brown, to my right, Giovanni Heater. Cardinals just went 50 yards to the house on a methodical drive as that kick goes end over end and into the end zone for a touchback. That drive officially lasting 9 plays, 49 yards, and 5 minutes and 45 seconds off the scoreboard. 6:53 officially on the Jumbotron as Virginia Tech's offense trots out onto the field for the second time today. Dug themselves into a hole against Florida State and a couple of other losses that they occurred throughout the season. This will be an interesting drive right here for Virginia Tech.
This is really could be telling of how this day is going to go, at least this first half for the Hokies.
Ball at the far hash at the 25. Xavier Turner-Bradshaw left to right. Hand off up the middle for Bayshell Tootin, and he just follows his blockers, surging up the middle for a gain of 3, a solid carry on first down.
Yeah, 3 yards there, bitten off by Bayshell Tootin. Nothing fancy. Halfback draw up the middle. A lot of pre-snap motion early in this game. Remember, Nick, we've only seen, 4 or 5 offensive plays out of this Virginia Tech offense, but in all of them, they've been incorporating movement pre-snap.
4 wide receivers in the formation. Bayshell Tootin lines up as one of them. Drones alone in the backfield. Motions Tootin now from the left to the right. Lines up next to him. Handoff, no, pulled it out, looking deep, lobbing it to the inbound of the 40. It's caught by Felton. First down, Virginia Tech, out to the Hokies, 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's a really nice pitching catch there between Kyron Drones and Quan Felton, who's really emerged as one of his top targets, the transfer from Norfolk State.
Storm Duck, the UNC transfer, with the tackle. Trips to the left for Drones. Couple of fake snaps. He has a receiver to his right, Felton alone on the right side. Tootin is the running back in the backfield with him. It'll be first down and 10 at the 40-yard line. In motion, Daquan Wright. Shotgun snap for Drones. Distributes the rock. Tootin with a big hole. Burst of speed. Shutting defenders. And taking the ball into Louisville territory all the way out to the 44-yard line. A powerful run by one of the ACC's best running backs, Bayshell Tootin, moving the chains for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that's a huge play by Bayshell Tootin, using his legs, getting into the second level of the defense and moving the rock across midfield.
Cameron Kelly, the UNC transfer, is the last line of defense for Louisville. 5:04 and rolling here in the first quarter. 7-0 Louisville with the lead over Virginia Tech. Ball officially at the 45. Malachi Thomas is now the running back as a man is motioned from left to right. It's Tootin. He takes the jet sweep. He's tripped up, but still rolling his way out to the 41. Another carry for Bayshell Tootin goes 3 more yards. Brings up second down and 7. Jalen Alderman with the tackle. A little extra pushing and shoving on the edge there by Felton, and
yeah, just something you can't really afford to get in the mix of if you're Quan Felton. You don't want to get, any kind of flags here. You just can't afford that when you're generating a drive like this.
Trips to the right for Drones, 1 to the left. Ball at the near hash. Jalen Lane motion from right to left. Malachi Thomas to the back. Play action pass. Drones steps up into the pocket. Pressured and sacked. Back to the 49. In there on the hit, Benjamin Perry. They brought the corner blitz, and Perry got home, his first TFL of the season, and it's a big one. Brings up third down and long for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that's a massive sack. Second one of the day early on in as many drives for this Louisville defense, who's one of the best in the ACC, continues to get better week in and week out. And they're doing it against a team that 4th in the country in sacks. So Virginia Tech looking to do that on their side. Louisville saying, hey, anything you can do, we can keep up with.
3rd and 14 at the 48. Virginia Tech has to get to the 34. Shotgun snap for Drones. Pitches it out to Malachi Thomas, who cuts it back and runs into a brick wall at the 48. Nowhere to go for the Hokies, and it brings up 4th down. Raymond Puryear with the hit, and Virginia Tech stalls out at midfield after a promising start to the drive.
Yeah, I don't really love the play call on 3rd down and long there, Nick. You go with a pitch to the outside, and sure, the pitch game has worked, but I just feel like you put yourself in a situation there across midfield. You'd love to see him drop back and look to throw.
Kevin Coleman stands at his own 7 to receive the punt. Peter Moore at his own 38 to punt the ball away. Louisville comes charging. Peter Moore gets it away. An end-over-end sailing punt that's going to be waved down and snagged at the 11-yard line. A solid punt by Peter Moore, pinning the Cardinals back deep in their own territory. We'll step aside for another official timeout. 2:42 to go here in the first quarter. Louisville leading Virginia Tech 7-0, almost through one full frame.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kickoff Show every Friday afternoon on the 3304 Sports YouTube channel. We talk all things Virginia Tech Hokies football all the time. Feature stories, panelist discussions, opponent analysis, and so much more. The 3304 Sports Kickoff Show, your pregame destination for college football, week in and week out.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky, where the 13th ranked Cardinals of Louisville lead Virginia Tech 7-0 with 2:42 to go in the first quarter. I'm Nick Brown. To my right, Giovanni Heater. Thank you for tuning in to 3304 Sports. We greatly appreciate your company this afternoon. So Louisville on their opening drive went 9 plays, 50 yards for a touchdown, capped off by a 1-yard run. They start this second drive deep in their own territory at their own 11 at the far hash. Working right to left, it's Jack Plummer in the gun. Jordan on his left hip with trips to his left. Plummer takes the snap. Virginia Tech brings pressure after him, dumps it off underneath. It's Jordan catching it, but he's wiped out at the 10. With the devastating blow, it's Nasir Peoples again. He hunted that one out like a cheetah, and he drops him at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss.
Yeah, he's been everywhere tonight so far, Mr. Brown. I mean, Nasir Peoples, a guy that the Hokies missed for quite some time when he wasn't in there, back in the lineup and really showing out.
Plummer once again in the gun, 4 wide out split now at the near hash. Jordan now lines up on his right hip. One safety back for Virginia Tech, takes the snap, option play, they pitch it out to Jordan in the flats. He's got it at the 11, rumbling his way to the 15, and takes it out to the 18 where he's laid to rest by Alan Tisdale.
Tizzy on the stop for the Hokies, able to chase him down. That's a nice chunk there for Louisville, but again, that had opportunity for big play, and the Hokies just able to contain here. That's really what they're going to need to focus in on against the Cards this afternoon.
Ball officially placed at the 17-yard line at the far hash. It's 3rd down and 5 deep in their own territory. Plummer in the gun, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Motions one of the men from the right to the left, and he hikes the hide. Play action pass, screen pass to the left, develops well, and it's going to be a first down and a whole lot more for Louisville out to the 27. First down and more.
Cards moving the football really well, looking sharp on offense, Nick, and they're not doing it by taking shots down the field. They're methodically just chipping away, coming off the heels of a 49-yard drive that ended up scoring a touchdown, now looking to do much of the same.
That was Kevin Coleman in the flats on that on the receiving end of that pass. Plummer now lines up in the gun alone, 5 wideouts wide. Near hash. Ball at the 27-yard line. Man motion from right to left. Plummer keeps it himself, and he's got a first down. Not on the first down carry. He's got a gain of 6. Brings up 2nd down and 4. You know what? He's not a very mobile quarterback, but today he's used his legs twice, and they've been pretty good pickups.
No, not a big runner at all, Nick. You're right when you say that. But, you know, in his years, both at Purdue and at Cal and at Louisville, he's able to do it when it's needed, right? And it throws the defense off kilter just a little bit when he can be a threat.
Jordan's in the running back. No, check that. Gorendo's in the running back, standing at the 25. Plummer in the pistol. Hiking the hide on the 32. Gorendo runs into a brick wall and now shifts course into the middle of the field. Shutting tackles. Big gain. Still rumbling his way down to the Virginia Tech 38-yard line. Isaac Gorendo, the powerful runner, taking it into Hokie territory.
That's one of those big plays we were talking about, Nick, that the Hokies would have to limit. Now, the difference was early this season that was going 75 to the house. Instead, Virginia Tech able to rip him down across midfield. And here's feels like a much-needed timeout here to just kind of kilter the momentum a little bit.
End of the first quarter. Louisville leading Virginia Tech 7-0 here at L&N Federal Credit Union. We'll step aside. Second quarter on the other side of this break on 3304 Sports.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
Be sure to check out The Beat after tonight's ball game. Head over to the 3304 Sports website for in-depth written coverage of every snap. Our writers and editors work tirelessly to produce written content covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Feature stories, game recaps, and so much more. All things, all sports, all the time. This is 3304 Sports.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Hey sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
Second quarter, just a few moments away here in the Ville. Louisville leading Virginia Tech 7-0 at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium. I'm Nick Brown, to my right, Giovanni Heater. Well, Louisville is going to run the football, and they're doing just that, Gio.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty darn good job of it as well. They got 71 rushing yards already as a squad. Garendo's got 27 of them. He bit off a big one. Just ahead of him is Jawar Jordan leading the charge. And how about this? Jack Plummer, quarterback, came into today, Nick, 53 carries for 18 yards. Today, he's already got 14 rushing yards on the ground.
Has faced little to no pressure today as well in the backfield.
Against the team that's number 4 in the country in sacks, 30 on the season. Number 1 in the ACC, 15 in the last 2 weeks.
Nearly perfection for Louisville as Plummer is 3 for 3, tossing the rock as well for 27 yards. They started this drive back at their own 11. Right now, the ball is placed at the Virginia Tech 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for Louisville. Plummer in the pistol. Garendo's the back behind him. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Plummer hikes the hide, hands it off right up to Garendo. Gaping hole, sending defenders. 1 man to beat at the 10-5. Touchdown. Cardinals, 39 yards to the house. And Louisville extends their lead to 13-0.
That's that big play we talked about that Virginia Tech was going to have to limit to stand a chance in the Derby City today. And instead, Garendo says, nah, we're going off to the races. Just like that. 13-0 Cards. 2 big offensive drives, and they've been dominant on the ground already. 110 rushing yards as a squad in 2 drives.
Travel said split the sticks. The kick is up and away, and it is right on through. 14-0, just like that. 8 seconds into the second quarter, the Cardinals leading the Hokies. Well, right there, running the football, it's effective, and it seems like Virginia Tech still has those running woes on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Garendo, we said, maybe he's going to play a little bit more here for Louisville today because Jawar Jordan maybe not at 100%. He was questionable coming into the game, and he's done just that. Just 60 carries for 252 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. A big difference between Jawar Jordan's 110 carries and Garendo's 60. Now already today, Garendo's had 2 big carries. He's got 68 yards on the ground and a score.
Garendo, when Jordan was absent in that Pittsburgh game, had 2 touchdowns running the football. Last week against Duke, 8 carries, 45 yards. He's already eclipsed that today. 2 carries, 60 65 yards, or 66 yards and a touchdown. A perfect start for Louisville in their home stadium as Travelstead tees the ball up. Travelstead with a 58% touchback rate on the season. 2 for 2 today. A line drive straight into the chest of Tootin, who receives it at the 10. Blocker set up and a burst of speed out to the 36, or he is destroyed by 2 Cardinal defenders.
Yeah, he's a little slow to get up here, and he does get up just fine and slowly gets his way off the field, but he took a licking, Nick, and it looked like with that line drive kick, maybe it would have a chance to break something big, and the coverage team wouldn't necessarily have time to get set up, and instead it really didn't allow Virginia Tech's blockers to get set up, and he hit a wall.
Malachi Thomas will be the running back on this drive for Virginia Tech as he lines up on the right hip of Drones. Drones, who has 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right, stands in the gun. Flags all over the place.
What'd you do, Nick?
False start.
I'm not sure how I triggered that.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Kind of an odd false start right there as nobody got even set yet, and they still threw the penalty. Nonetheless, it'll be now 1st and 15, back at the 21-yard line. A tough start for Virginia Tech. So their last drive stalled out at midfield. Drones in the gun. Motions Jalen Lane from left to right. Lane cuts it back to left. They pitch it out to Lane in the flats, and he is caught and dropped at the 16. The Cardinals all over things today, and they look like the better team to start this football game. Antonio Watts, another TFL today, as he dropped Lane back at the 16.
Yeah, Watts in that star position, right, for this Louisville Cardinals defense, and he gets in the backfield in a hurry. A big TFL. Louisville, one of the top tackle for loss teams in the conference.
Second down and forever for Virginia Tech. 2nd and 20, back at the 16. Drones with 4 wide out, split. Cardinals show pressure once again, and they bring it. Drones has to get rid of it, steps up in the pocket. No chance, dropped at the 15. Raymond Puryear again in the backfield for Louisville. His 3rd sack of the season.
Just a big blitz up front, and Puryear able to get through as the rest of the offensive line was distracted. They ended up rushing 5, and Puryear's the first one to get home at the quarterback. 3rd sack of the day against Kyron Drones and the Hokies.
Trips to the right for Kyron Drones, who stands at his own 2. 3rd and 29 as all of L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium roars down upon him. Shotgun snap for Drones, flag on the play. The play should never have even happened, as there's a false start.
For the snap, delay a game, offense. The penalty is enforced, half the distance to the goal. Still 3rd down.
Nick, coming into today, the question was, can they do it on the road? All of Virginia Tech's wins have come inside the confines of Lane Stadium. They're 4-4 on the season. They've yet to prove the ability to win on the road, and they're struggling against this hostile crowd in Louisville.
Ball is now at the 4-yard line. This drive started out at the 26. 3rd and 32. Shotgun snap. Handoff to Tootin. Gaping hole. Makes a man miss, but only gets down to the 16. There was daylight, but he slipped on that turf. And that will bring up another 3 and out. Out comes Peter Moore once again. Gilbert Frierson just got in front of Tootin, who slipped and fell down. There was a lot of room for there. If he broke that tackle, he may have been gone to the house.
Yeah, a little bit of room there for Bashal Tootin, but nevertheless, that's just a situation where if you're Brent Pry, if you're Tyler Bowen, another unsuccessful drive. Another one, though, where you had no momentum to begin with. At least on the last one, you got the ball down the field a little bit, ended up stalling out. That one got to just generate a little momentum.
Peter Moore just gets the kick away. It's a bomb. It's going to be received back at the 25 on the other side of the field and stopped at the 30. Returning the football, Kevin Coleman, he had to put the wheels on just to receive the football back at the 25. An absolute boot by number 85, Peter Moore.
Yeah, Peter Moore doing what he does best there for the Hokies. And, you know, Nick, Louisville looking like they could want to shut this one up early.
We'll step aside for another media break. Virginia Tech trailing Louisville on the road. 12:31 to go in the second quarter. 14-0 is our score.
Hey, sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
14-0 Louisville leading Virginia Tech at home today. They have all the momentum in the world, and they have the football at the 30-yard line. Plummer in the gun, running back on either hip. Two wideouts to his left, one to his right. Dangles his arms, claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off right up the middle, and going for a gain of 3 on first down. Hokies say the ball came out, and now the refs say he was down. Virginia Tech pleading for a review on the play.
Brent Pry has not said a word to an official.
The ref's still holding out to see if there is going to be one. And they're going to say no. They say he was down. So second down and 7, ball at the 33. Power I formation for Plummer. He takes the snap, drops back the pass, lobbing over the middle, and it is caught on a diving attempt out to the 48-yard line. Jaden Thompson with the catch for Louisville. Mansour Delane in coverage, got a little lost there. That's a poor throw by Plummer, but still an excellent catch by Jaden. Hurry up offense for Louisville, 4 wide out split. And there's going to be a false start here. One of the receivers got a little too antsy over on the far sideline.
False start.
Yeah, Chris Bell was too ready to go.
Penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, Dorian Strong in coverage pointed it out right away for Virginia Tech. That'll set the Cards back 5. But Virginia Tech, man, I got to tell you, got to find a way here to keep this offense off the field, get them off the field. And then if you're the Virginia Tech offense, you got to find a way to stay on the field. This defense is gassed already. They've played a lot of football.
First and 15, ball at the 40-yard line on Louisville's side of the football. Cardinals with the ball, delayed handoff to Garendo. Big hole on the far sideline. There he goes, off to the races in the Derby City, to the 20, 5, 15, 10, 5, the final stretch, touchdown, Louisville. But hold up, there is a flag all the way back at the 45.
Holding.
Wow.
Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So whenever there's a big-time run, typically that means that there's a big possibility of holding. And wow, that was going to be a monstrous run right there. A 55-yard strike is now erased immediately.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see where the hold is here, Nick. You thought maybe it could be off the edge, right, when he turns the corner and gets outside the tackles, and that wasn't where it was, so maybe it was in the secondary somewhere. But nevertheless, this is game-changing here, because that would have put the Cards up 3 touchdowns and really could have put this game out very, very early. Spread coming into this thing started at 12, ended at 9.5. Vegas did not foresee this.
1st and 25, Plummer under center. Motion to man from right to left. Play action pass. Rolling out to the right. Plummer directing traffic with his arms. Now is going to take off running. Caught up from behind and gets a great pickup all the way down to the 49. Just a slow developing play that's going to pick up probably around 13 yards.
Yeah, it's a big play there by Plummer to, get ahead, get back into the normal set of the chains here if you're Louisville. 10.5 left to play in quarter number 2. Virginia Tech got to find a way to get off the field here if you're this defense.
10-20 and rolling here in the second quarter. It's now 2nd down and 7 after the 13-yard pickup using the legs was Plummer. The senior quarterback goes under center, now drops back to the pistol. Maurice Turner, this third-string running back, getting the call on this play. Play action pass, stepping up, Plummer, lobbing one, wide open man at the 40-yard line, shifting his weight down to the 35. His big old tight end, Joey Gatewood, for the Cardinals, and he is officially stopped at the 34.
Nick, Joey Gatewood has one of the most fascinating stories in all of college football. Get this. Played quarterback at Auburn under Gus Malzahn. Played quarterback then after that at UCF in Kentucky, and now is a tight end at Louisville, 3rd on the depth chart. Just a crazy journeyman in college football.
Big pickup there through the air into Virginia Tech territory at the 34. Plummer takes the snap. Flag on the play. A lot of pre-snap penalties today for both teams. Can't blame one or the other. Just a lot of
Encroachment. Offense number 42 was lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now, typically when you see encroachment, it ends up going against the defense. This time it was the offensive line lined up offsides.
Well, back up the Cardinals 5 more yards. A lot of 5-yard hankies today in the first half with 9:20 to go in this second quarter. 14-0 is our score. Louisville trying to tack on more. They have the ball at the Virginia Tech 39 at the far hash. Taking the snap, handoff to Garendo, destroyed in the backfield, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jordan McDonald and Derek Canteen on the tackle there, and it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, they're going to need to lean on Derek Canteen today, and it appears McDonald as well with a couple of guys out, possibly due to injury, and McDonald has had an increase in his snap numbers as of late down the second half stretch of the season here.
Under center, power I, it's Plummer. 2 wide outs wide. Takes the snap, play action pass, dropping back, lobbing, wide open man, caught at the 24, and it's a 1st down and more. Beating the coverage, Chris Bell for his 2nd reception of the game. He entered today with only 12, and now it's only his 4th game of the season with multiple catches on a game.
Well, you know why? Jamari Thrash not in the ball game, a guy with 46 catches on this season, by far and away the most on the team. Other guys looking to step up.
Jack Plummer now 7 for 7 throwing the football today. Has faced nearly no pressure as well. He's under center, motions a man out wide. 2 wide receivers to his right now, 1 to his left. Garendo's the back, stands alone in the backfield. Takes the snap, delayed handoff, Garendo off the edge. He is swallowed up and gummed up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Brings up now 2nd down and 10. Ball still at the 22-yard line. Now Pollard, the run-stuffing machine right there, led the charge, and about 6 or 7 white jerseys joined in on the tackle. Plummer in the gun. Garendo is right hip. 3 receivers out wide. Plummer hikes the hide. Another sweeping handoff and another Hokie tackle at the line of scrimmage. That time, Feldarius Payne blew that one up as he shifted his weight through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, big Feldarius Payne, transfer out of Nebraska for Virginia Tech, missed all of last season with an Achilles tear.
So now Louisville's third down face today. They're 1 for 2. They picked up the 4th down after the failed 3rd down conversion attempt on their opening drive. It is going to be a 3rd down and 11 after the TFL from Feldarius Payne. Plummer in the gun, trips. Or 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Takes the snap, drops back, steps up in the coverage, lobs to the sideline where it is caught at the yard line, but it's going to be 2 yards shy. Officially ball placed at the 15. Jimmy Calloway reeled that one in, and out comes the field goal unit. Brock Travelstead, I don't know, 4th down and 2 at the 14. You know Virginia Tech hasn't had much offensive success, and they're going to kick the field goal here.
Yeah, I mean, you're already up 2 touchdowns here. Take some points.
Travelstead, 76% field goal kicker on the season. He'll be at the far hash. It'll be officially a 31-yard attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. He hooked it too far to the left. Louisville's going to celebrate like he made it. The
Somebody
fireworks
thought it
go
was
off,
good.
but it was no good. He cooked it left, and the score remains 14-0.
Somebody tell the pyrotechnic team because the fireworks went off and they hit the train horn and everything.
So score will remain 14-0 with 6:03 to go in the second quarter. Kind of an odd decision there by Jeff Brom. They picked up the 4th and 1 on their opening drive. They don't attempt the 4th and 2 at the 14-yard line there, and then they miss the field goal.
Yeah, this could be a really, really big break if you're Virginia Tech. If you can find a way to put some points on the board, keeps it to a 2-possession ball game. And 17-0, 14-0 are 2 very, very different things. This could really, in a way, Nick, think about it. This could be as big as a 7 to 10 point swing because it looked like they were driving with the momentum for a touchdown, and then it looked like they were going to get 3, and now they come away with 0. That's just big if you're Virginia Tech.
Total yardage today. Let's take a look right here. 19 for Virginia Tech, 213 for Louisville.
Yeah.
Through a quarter and a half of football.
Not only that, but it's been the dominance on the ground, 130 rushing yards for the Cards.
Virginia Tech's defense of old that showed its ugly head in the first 5 to 6 games of the season, now making a return after 2 dominant games over Wake Forest and Syracuse the previous week.
Crazy thing, too, Nick, they're doing it really without Jawar Jordan at this point. Last couple of drives, it's been Garendo. You wonder if something happened where, like, we're going to give Jawar a go. He was questionable. Maybe, he just couldn't quite hang in there, and he's going to be out. Who knows? I'm sure we'll get a better update on that at halftime. But regardless, carrying the load right now, it's Isaac Garendo. 7 rushes for 75 yards, has a touchdown as well along a 39. He's been carrying the load. Now, Jawar does have 8 carries for 30 yards, but Garendo has really emerged.
Jawar Jordan, every carry on the opening drive, and then 2 carries on the second drive, and Garendo has taken over since then.
What do you think it is Virginia Tech has to do here to find some momentum offensively?
Block up front. They have proved that they cannot protect Kyron Drones in this first 1.5 quarters when he drops back to pass. He's already been sacked 3 times today. That's got to change.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Virginia Tech will line up with trips to the left for number 1. Kyron Drones, the quarterback, standing. And the ball is placed at the 20-yard line.
I think you got to discipline up, too. You can't afford penalties on this drive if you're the Hokies, especially pre-snap.
1 receiver to the right. Tootin is the running back. Louisville shows pressure off the edge. Drones takes the snap. Sweeping handoff to Tootin. Gaping hole. No, Drones kept it himself, and he gets a first down on the QB read option right there out to the 31. Nice first down carry. Fooled me and fooled the Louisville defense as well.
Yeah, that it did, and it was a really nice run right there for Kyron Drones.
Hurry up offense for Virginia Tech. Once again, trips to the left, receiver to the right. Tootin is the back on the right hip of Drones. Now motions to the left side. Drones looks to the left and takes the snap. Rolls out to the left immediately, pressured, and fires it out. Steven Gosnell with the catch, curls back at the 35, and he is dropped at the 40. Another positive play for Virginia Tech. It's a pitch and catch of 9. Jalen Alderman kept him from picking up a first down.
Here you go if you're Virginia Tech. Do what you do. Let your quarterback run it a little bit. Use that deception in the RPO. Steven Gosnell hasn't been as involved in the offense the last week or two. Only a catch last week against Syracuse. Has as many as 6 in a win over Pittsburgh. See if they can get him cooking a little bit.
4 wide out split. Ball at the near hash. Motioning Daquan Wright. Hand off to Tootin. Trying to stretch it out. He's got the first down using his legs.
He's so fast on the perimeter. It just seems like you cannot keep him from turning a corner if you're a defense.
4:43 and rolling here in the second quarter. 14-0 Louisville leading Virginia Tech. The Hokies picking up 2 first downs to start this drive. Ball is placed at the 45-yard line. Virginia Tech doesn't have to worry about time just yet here in the half, but that certainly might become a factor as the drive wears on. 3 wideouts, 2 to the right, 1 to the left at the near hash. Hiking the pigskin, dropping back on the play action. It's Drones. He's looking deep, lobbing one deep. Jalen Lane down there, and it's just overthrown his head by about 5 yards. And fortunately for him, Quincy Riley actually had the footstep on Jalen Lane.
You know, I don't know what it is, Nick, but everything just looks the slightest bit more out of rhythm when this team takes the show on the road. The last handful of weeks have been big connections down the field for the Hokies. Jalen Lane, Quan Felton, and instead that one just looked miscued from the very beginning.
Trips to the right for Drones. Now 2 wideouts to the left as man is in motion. Drones fakes the pitch, takes it himself. He's got a great carry on second down. It's going to be a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd and 2 into Louisville territory. TJ Quinn with the tackle there as the boxing bells go off.
Well, Muhammad Ali nod.
Yeah. Louisville floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, leading 14-0 with 3:46 to go in the first half of football. Drones in the gun, 3rd and 2. Man in motion, it's Lane, takes the snap. Drones keeps it himself. He's got the first down and a little bit more as he submarine dives for a good carry of 4 yards. And he takes it out to the 43-yard line.
Dude, he's just a big physical runner up front, Nick. You know, you talk about that 6'4" frame. He really can rumble through a defense, and it takes more than one guy to bring him down.
3:15 and rolling here in the second quarter. 14-0 Louisville still leading Virginia Tech. A fast first half of football as both teams love to run the ball. Drones in the gun, Tootin on his right hip. Takes the snap, rolling out to his right immediately. No one pressuring there. Now looks to take off running, pump fakes, and he'll just pick up a 2-yard scamper on the play.
That's smart if you're Kyron Drones. Nothing open down the field, doesn't take a risk, lives to fight another day, carries the ball out of bounds. That's smart quarterback play. Mistakes he would make in week 1 or 2, and now a little bit later on in this season, now his 7th start. Kind of smartened up a little bit.
Gain of only 1 and brings up 2nd and 9. The ball is at the 42-yard line. Bunch formation for Virginia Tech. 1 receiver out wide. They pitch it out to Malachi Thomas. Throwing it back to Drones. He's got a man behind the coverage. Lobbing it downfield for Aiden Green, who is ripped down at the 5. A big-time pass interference call. Cameron Kelly, the former Virginia Tech commits the penalty. And that is a devastating flag. He didn't need to do it. He could have jumped the route and had a pick.
I mean, as obvious of a pass interference as it gets.
Defense number 11, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I'll tell you what, Nick, Tech had a touchdown if Drones doesn't get hit well. He throws that, causing it to come out ajar just a little bit through the pass off kilter. Was not a tight spiral like we're used to seeing out of Kyron. He underthrew it just a little bit, and because of it, you know, that ended up being a wobbly pass. You got to give credit with the hit in the backfield. Unfortunate thing, this is not the National Football League. Tech's not getting the ball at the 6-yard line here. It is 15 yards, but it could be worse.
Ball officially at the 28-yard line now on Louisville's side of the field. Jalen Lane in motion from right to left, taking the snap and a handoff to Tootin. Tootin's got a gaping hole, and he's stiff-arming his way out to the 15 and officially laid to rest by Cameron Kelly at the 13-yard line. Tootin took him for a ride for about 5 yards.
Toot, get on the Tootin' train. I mean, this guy can really carry the load. He's just got such a physical, low center of gravity, such an intense runner is Bashal Tootin', and he's fast as well.
Virginia Tech finally settling into the football game with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's first down and 10 at the 13, going up against the best red zone defense in the ACC. 2 receivers to the right for Drones, who takes the snap. Hand off to Tootin, runs into a brick wall, turned back, and stubbed back. They continue to hit him in the backfield. The entire coaching staff for Virginia Tech wants the flag after the play, but to no avail. And it'll bring up second down and 10. This is interesting right here. Louisville's the best red zone defense in the ACC. Number 3 in the country, by the way. 9 for 14. They've allowed only 9 scores. All of those touchdowns. They've not given up a field goal in the red zone this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. And on the contrary to that, Virginia Tech is struggling offensively in the red zone to put up touchdowns. A lot of field goals as of late. Need 6 instead.
Second and 9 now. Ball at the 12. Taking the snap, handoff to Tootin. Another brick wall on the sweeping handoff. Third down and 9. Virginia Tech again just running into a wall in the red zone.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Cameron Kelly was the first to get there again, Nick, kind of making up for that silly penalty that he had. And Tech last week against Syracuse, 6 trips to the red zone. You'll take that all day long. 4 field goals, though, to 2 touchdowns. Against the 13th-ranked Cards, you'd like to at least even that out or try and reverse it. Big opportunity here.
The Hokies 1 for 4 on previous third downs today. They face a 3rd and 9 at the 13. Taking the snap. Drones drops back to pass. Looks underneath. Caught by Stephen Gosnell. And he's got just to the line to gain. There is a flag back at the 8-yard line. And it's going to be pass interference on the offense.
Yeah, we'll see. And it looked like they pointed to Virginia Tech. Everyone in the crowd saw it. So I believe this will be against the Hokies. Getting the official call from down on the field. Maybe his mic's not working, looks like. There we go.
Pass interference. Offense number 8. 15-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
So unfortunate, Nick, because they weren't even going to Daquan Wright. And he gets the penalty on a pass interference on a ball caught by Stephen Gosnell. Detrimental in a game like this.
Now third down and forever for Virginia Tech. And all of a sudden, you've got to worry about field goal range now. The ball is at the 27-yard line after what was third down and 9 from the 12. It's now 3rd and 24. Timeout taken by Brent Pry and crew with 8 seconds to go in the second quarter.
I mean, you take a shot for the end zone. It's third down. You have to take a quick shot for the end zone and then kick a field goal. Another situation where you're stalling out in the red zone. They did this against Florida State as well, struggled to put it in within 20 yards, and that's just such a costly penalty if you're the Hokies. A push-off against Daquan Wright. Better than a pre-snap penalty, no doubt, but that's a momentum killer.
So third down and 24. The clock officially stopped with 11 seconds to go in the half of football. 14-0 is our score. Louisville on top of Virginia Tech. The Hokies just trying to take that 0 off the scoreboard now. They had converted a third down and 9 at the 3-yard line. But after a pass interference call, that was brought all the way back to the 27, and it's now 3rd and 24. And that doesn't really matter with 11 seconds to go. You're just probably going to lob up a shot here for a touchdown chance and then go for a field goal if you don't convert it.
Yeah, they do put 3 on. That's absolutely massive. I mean, 3 seconds really could have been the difference in deciding, do you just kick the field goal now, right? Because the last thing you can afford to do is have the clock expire on you. Now, luckily, Tech has 2 timeouts left, so they'll be just fine in that department. You wonder why they didn't use one a little bit earlier, maybe to try and conserve a little bit more of this clock.
All 3 timeouts in your back pocket. You only use 1.
Good thing is there should be nothing remaining for Louisville on the other side.
Yes, that is true.
That's key. Unfortunately, we've seen what 13 seconds can do. As a Buffalo Bills fan myself, I know what 13 seconds can do in a football game. Nevertheless, if you're Virginia Tech here, got to take a shot for the end zone. Maybe something creative. You saw a trick play last week in this kind of territory. It was a 16-yard touchdown pass from the tailback, Malachi Thomas, to Quan Felton. With that being said, it's on tape now, and Louisville's expecting the pass here, you'd have to think. So it might not work as seamlessly, but I feel like you have to get creative in a situation where you're obviously taking a shot at the end zone. There's also a chance they just run it here and get it centered and get the most favorable positioning here for their place kicker and John Love, who was lights out last week, had 5 field goals. 5 for 5, using his foot. Drones is going to line up in the gun. Malachi Thomas will be the running back accompanying him in the backfield. Trips to the left for the Hokies, no one to the right. See what they do here. Big play, game-changing play. Ball at the 27. Louisville in no way in a safe defense at the moment. No. 2 safeties back, but they're at the 15. The Hokies can definitely get behind coverage here. Shotgun snap for Drones. Cards come right after him. Rolls out to his right, looking, and just throws it away. Smart. Wasn't there, didn't want to force it. He'll take a field goal here. Brings up now 4th down, and with 4 seconds to go in the half of football, they're just going to bring out John Love wearing that Frank Beamer at number 25. 5 for 5 using his legs last week. It was an obvious choice for special teams player of the game this week to get to wear the 25, huh? He's kicking on average 88%. From this distance, he is 7 for 8. Timeout, Louisville. And we'll step aside for our final media timeout of the half. Virginia Tech trying to get on the scoreboard on the other side of this break for one final play of the half. 14-0 Louisville leading Virginia Tech here on 3304 Sports.
Hey sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kickoff Show every Friday afternoon on the 3304 Sports YouTube channel. We talk all things Virginia Tech Hokies football all the time. Feature stories, panelist discussions, opponent analysis, and so much more. The 3304 Sports Kickoff Show, your pregame destination for college football, week in and week out.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
All right, John Love to attempt a 44-yard kick. 2 for 3 from this distance. It's at the far hash. 4 seconds to go in the half. Virginia Tech trailing 14-0 to Louisville on the road, trying to get the 0 off the scoreboard. Love was perfect, 5 for 5 a week ago. Clean snap, clean hold, kick is away, a line drive. That is right on through. What a kick by John Love, and the lead is trimmed to 11 at the half. 14-3 is how we do it through 2 quarters of play. We'll step aside, collect our thoughts, collect our stats, and when we come back, a halftime report in the second half. On the other side, Virginia Tech trailing Louisville 14-3 at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium on 3304 Sports.
The first half of football is in the books. Stay tuned for the second half of action after this on 3304 Sports. You're listening to college football on 3304 Sports. For the second half action, we send you back up to the booth.
An absolutely gorgeous November afternoon here in the Derby City of Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, everybody. I'm Giovanni Heater, joined alongside Nick Brown, sitting to my left, outside of L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium here in the Derby City, just next door to the historic Churchill Downs. It's the Louisville Cardinals with a 14-3 lead over the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, Nick, Virginia Tech was able to drive down the field, stalled out in the red zone as they have done so often this season, ended up settling for a field goal to take it into the locker room break, and Louisville gets the ball to start here in half number 2.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech, they're going to go out on defense to start the second half, and that's certainly not what you want for Brent Pry if you're Brent Pry and company, but hey, you got to do what you got to do, and if you want the momentum, if you want to come back and get into this ball game, you get the defense off the field and put that offense back on the field. That showed promise to get down the field as well.
No doubt about it. Kyle Lowe ready to kick things off. Isaac Garendo back deep to return for the Cards, standing at his own 3. It's a little bit of a squib kick here that's actually going to be returned by Bell, the wide receiver. He darts across the 30-yard line at the numbers and is shoveled down at about the 32. So here comes Jack Plummer and company, starting quarterback for the Louisville Cardinals. Transfer from Cal, played from 2018 to 2021 under Jeff Brom at Purdue, and now here he is with the Cardinals after a year at Cal in 2022. He's had an outstanding season thus far. He's perfect so far today, 7 for 7. Louisville in their all-black with white caps. Virginia Tech maroon helmets, white jerseys, white pants. Shotgun snap back to Plummer, hands it off. Jawar Jordan is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, behind the 30-yard line. Mario Kendricks in on the stop for Virginia Tech. Loss of 3 to start out half number 2.
Yeah, Jordan makes a reappearance after the second drive of the game is when we last saw him. He took 2 carries on the second drive of the game after having the entire workload of the first drive. And after that, we didn't see him. It was all Garendo, who did a very good job in his absence, but good to see that Jordan is healthy.
Shotgun formation with a receiver at the far side, another to the near side. Now a tight end in motion. Tailbacks at each hip. Shotgun snap back to Plummer. Pressure comes. He escapes to the left. Plummer fires, and it is incomplete across the 30-yard line. Was looking for Bell. Mansour Delane in coverage for the Hokies, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, first time we've seen Plummer get into some trouble there. We know when he gets pressured, he tends to throw a couple of picks. So that's, if you're Virginia Tech, that's kind of what you want to do, is finally get some pressure. It's kind of an up-high hit, I'm not going to lie right there. Surprised he didn't throw the flag.
Antoine Powell-Ryland laid the boom. It was Norrell Pollard chasing down the quarterback as well. So he engineers the offense with 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Jawar Jordan lined up at his right hip. 4-man front for Virginia Tech with a pair of safeties back. And now Plummer sets back, takes his time, and glances over to the sideline for a new signal. They will audible. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Jawar Jordan moves to his left hip. Here's a shotgun snap. Pressure coming, and he's sacked down at the ACC logo. Cole Nelson gets in there off the edge. It's his 2.5 sack on the season for Big 17 in what?
Right there, boom. Virginia Tech had no pressure in the first half, really afraid of the run, so they didn't bring any pressure. And then right there, finally get a couple of big hits on the quarterback, Cole Nelson, and perfect start for Virginia Tech's defense. Now, all they need is the offense to put some points on the board again.
First 3 and out for the Louisville offense today. And here's a sky-high punt way up into the air out of the punter in Brock Travelstead, and a fair catch at the 25-yard line by Tucker Holloway, one of the more dangerous return men in the ACC. Louisville did not want to give him any kind of opportunity to make a return after a fantastic game a week ago against Syracuse for Tucker Holloway. Here is the Virginia Tech offense engineered by their quarterback in white, Kyron Drones. His 7th start in college football, came in against Purdue, started against Rutgers in week 3, and he has been the man in Blacksburg ever since. Trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Bayshul Tootin at the right hip with a tight end in motion. 5-man front for Louisville. From their own 25, shotgun snap, it's a handoff to Tootin. He loses the football on the outside, dives on top of it, but he's going to lose a massive amount here. Down to the 18-yard line. Gang tackle in the backfield. Boy, that could have been dangerous. Silotap gets him down behind the 20-yard line. Bayshul Tootin lost it, able to corral it himself, but it's a big loss for the Hokies to set him up behind the chains.
Yeah, and that was the story of the first half. On first down, they just go backwards, and deja vu to start the second half.
Receiver to the near side is Gosnell. 2 receivers stacked on the far side. Daquan Wright is set in motion. Now Jalen Lane as well. Shotgun snap, play action fake to Thomas. Rolling out to the right is Drones. Tries to connect with Daquan Wright, and it falls incomplete. Was looking for him at the 25. Incomplete pass. Good coverage down the field by Benjamin Perry for the Cards, and 3rd down and long coming up.
Yeah, just had what right there in the flats open underneath, and if he hit him, that was going to be a solid gain of about 8 or 9 or maybe even 10, but just overthrew him right there.
Between the hashes, moving left to right. From their own 19-yard line, 2 receivers to each side with a 5-man front for Louisville. Kyron Drones with the crowd noise playing a factor, talking to his offensive line. Now he drops back into the shotgun with a receiver at his right hip. He takes a shotgun snap. Drones fires in the flat, gets it off to Quan Felton, who's ripped down after a gain of 2. Tried to go with a wide receiver screen. Cameron Kelly blew it up in the backfield, and Virginia Tech will punt.
Yep, right there, 3 and out for both teams. Louisville's defense does its job right there after the offense failed to do theirs. And right there, that's set up perfectly for Virginia Tech. If you get the 3 and out, you got to go down, you got to score points right there, and they fail to do so.
Anticlimactic start to the second half for both teams. Peter Morris, team captain, a junior, on the team for the Hokies, ready to punt this football away. Takes a snap. It's a sky-high punt, spiraling punt. Backing up all the way back to his own 30 is Kevin Coleman, where he takes the punt and is ripped down at about the 35. They're going to give him a generous spot here at the 37 with forward momentum. Handful of Hokies in on the stop, and that is where Jack Plummer and company will start this drive. But first, we'll step aside with a media timeout. It's Louisville on top here in Louisville, Kentucky, a 14-3 lead for the Cards. 11:55 left to go in quarter number 3. We step aside from LNN Federal Credit Union Stadium. Back in a jiff. This is 3304 Sports, presentation of college football.
Hey sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to the Derby City on a fantastic Saturday afternoon for college football. Giovanni Heater joined alongside Nick Brown with you at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium. It is a 14-3 lead for the Louisville Cardinals over the Virginia Tech Hokies, and the Cards get the football back. Both teams have gone 3 and out here to start half number 2. How about this, though, Nick? Louisville dominating, 203 yards of total offense, Tech just 68.
Yeah, I mean, tail of the tape right there. That's basically the entire story told in just one single stat.
Here come the Cardinals, moving right to left from the far hash with 2 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. 2 men in the backfield. Shotgun snap. It's a handoff toward Jordan. He darts to the 40-yard line. Is spun down at about the 42. Jawar Jordan, one of the most dynamic tailbacks of the ACC. Nasir Peoples brought him down after a gain of 4.
And Nasir Peoples having a good game today so far for Virginia Tech. Louisville can hit a knockout punch right here if they drive down the field and score a touchdown. It is detrimental for Virginia Tech to get a stop.
Splitting the hashes right to left. Plummer in the pistol set. Takes a shotgun snap. He hands it off toward Jordan, who meets Nasir Peoples right up the middle once again. Gains about a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Tell you what, Nasir Peoples won that battle in the hole. Jawar Jordan ran right into him, and Nasir stood him right up right there.
That was Oklahoma drill style right there. One-on-one. Mano-y-mano. So a massive 3rd down coming up here. It feels like the drive just got started. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, 1 man at the right hip of Plummer. 4-man front for Virginia Tech. Pair of safeties back. Receiver in motion behind Plummer. He takes the football. Dumps it out to the right side. Wide open. Gerard Jordan makes a catch, and he got a 1st down by about a yard. Goes out of bounds at his own 48-yard line. Ushered away. Isaac Garendo checked that instead of Jawar Jordan on the far sideline, and it is a 1st down.
23 and 25, hard to see up here.
Yeah, I'm going to check it back. It was Jawar Jordan. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah, sorry. My bad, everybody.
No worries. 3 receivers to the bottom with 1 in motion, a receiver at the top. Here's Plummer with a tailback to his right hip. He takes a shotgun snap, hands it off. It is Jawar Jordan. Big hole up the middle. Makes a man miss across the 40-yard line and is taken down at the 38. Jaden McDonald on the tackle for Virginia Tech. Boy, 25 in black is quite fast.
Yeah, and he's going to get a nice little breather that he has certainly earned. Garendo going to check in for him, and this is what we saw in the first quarter and started the second quarter as well, where Louisville just methodical drive, run up the middle, gain about 10, and just dominate up front.
1st and 10 for the Cards, now in enemy territory. On the 37-yard line. Receiver in motion, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Here's a shotgun snap, play action, fake firing over the middle is Plummer. It is complete. Big catch over the middle. 10-yard line. Down to the 5, down to the 2, into the end zone. Touchdown Louisville. Jaden Thompson. The Cincinnati transfer. And that could be the knockout punch in the Derby City.
Well, how about that, right? Run the ball, and then boom, strike over the middle, and Thompson's first receiving touchdown as a Cardinal. Nice play over the middle, made 2 defenders run right into each other and just sprinted away from the final one and got this much-needed score, 21-3 at this extra point, and like you said, that might be the nail in the coffin for Virginia Tech.
That was the question. Could they do it without Jamari Thrash? PAT is up. It is good. Brock Travelstead puts it through the uprights, and Louisville takes a 21-3 lead with 9:38 left to go here in quarter number 3. No Jamari Thrash, no problem for the Cardinals. We'll step aside 21-3, the brand new score. It's all Louisville in Kentucky this afternoon. This is college football on 3304 Sports.
Hey sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kickoff Show every Friday afternoon on the 3304 Sports YouTube channel. We talk all things Virginia Tech Hokies football all the time. Feature stories, panelist discussions, opponent analysis, and so much more. The 3304 Sports Kickoff Show, your pregame destination for college football, week in and week out.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
21-3, Louisville with a lead over Virginia Tech. 9:38 left to go here in the third quarter as a kickoff is taken by Bayshul Tootin at his own 5-yard line on the far side. Tootin's got a hole now, darting across the 25-yard line, stripped down at the 29. That is where the drive will start for Kyron Drones and company. Trailing now, Nick, by a large margin. Virginia Tech backs against the wall. How does this offense respond?
Got to score points any way you can get them. If you put up 3, hey, it's a 2-touchdown game still. But if you would love a touchdown for sure, just points any way you can get it.
Just 68 yards of total offense so far this afternoon for Virginia Tech. From the far hash, moving left to right. Here comes Kyron Drones, the transfer out of Baylor in his 7th start. With 2 receivers to each side, Bayshul Tootin lined up at his right hip, a 4-man front for Louisville. Shotgun snap back to Drones. He fires to the far sideline, complete. Quan Felton gains 8 and is ushered out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, 2 yards shy of the line to gain. 2nd and 2 coming up.
That's how you counteract the blitz right there. Just a short out route there to a wide open defender, and they're going to play space coverage on you. Just got to hit him and make sure the receiver does the rest.
Antonio Watts in coverage for the Cardinals. 2nd down and 2 for the Hokies. Man in motion is Daquan Wright. 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 at the top. 5-man front. Louisville showing pressure with just 1 safety back and soft coverage by their corners. Shotgun snap, handoff, Bayshul Tootin bouncing it out, turns the corner on the left side and gets a first down across the 40-yard line. Bayshul Tootin has so much speed on the edges, it seems like no defense can contain him in the open field.
That's exactly right. He just turns the corner. You see him, he's just going to run out of real estate. Just whoop, turns the corner. He's got 2 or 3 yards, just enough.
21-3, Louisville leads. 8.5 minutes and counting left to go in quarter number 3 here in Kentucky. Tight end in motion once again across the face of Drones. He takes a shotgun snap, play action fake, delivers a football over the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted at the 45-yard line and all the way down to the 35 rather. Go the Cardinals. TJ Quinn, the weak side linebacker, picks it off a deflection. hit the hands of Quan Felton, and all over it was TJ Quinn. A massive takeaway by this Louisville team that's third in the ACC in interceptions.
Yep, right there. Boom, just a perfect bat into the hands of the other man. Tip drill right there, and well, I could say with confidence right now that might be all she wrote for Virginia Tech. Just a unfortunate bounce right into the hands to the linebacker, and Louisville is most certainly going to put up more points here.
Just kind of felt like it was a matter of time. Kyron Drones broke the program record for most consecutive passes thrown without an interception last game. Sean Glennon held it before him. It was set at 151 heading into today, and there it is. He throws an interception. So here come the Cards, lined up in enemy territory at the opposing 35-yard line. From the far hash under center, here's a handoff. Jawar Jordan bouncing it out to the right side. He's got space across the 20-yard line down to the 15. Derek Canteen in on the stop. A churn to the legs. The Cardinals continue to push their way down the field. Offensively, little to no buffer.
Yeah, here we go. Louisville just trying to drive that nail even further. Just a couple plays here, and they'll have an even bigger lead.
From the far hash, moving right to left, enemy 15-yard line. Four-man front for Tech. Under center is Plummer, Garendo in the backfield. Receiver to each side. Plummer takes the snap, hands it off Garendo, and he's tripped up after a gain of 2.5. Norrell Pollard and Keyshawn Burgess got a piece of him.
Nice play there to trip him up at the line. Never got started, gets a gain of 3, but if you hold him out of the end zone, just buck up here in the red zone and keep it a 3-score game.
21-3 your score. Louisville on top, looking for more. 7:16 and counting left to go in the third quarter. The winner of this game in the driver's seat for second place in the conference. Chance to go to the conference championship game down in Charlotte in December. Snap under center, handoff, Garendo bouncing it out to the left side, cross the 5, dives across the goal line. Touchdown Cards. Isaac Garendo, tutty number 2 on the day. Isaac Garendo continuing to show that this Cardinals team is deeper than meets the eye. No Jamari Thrash, this offense says no problem. A banged-up Jawar Jordan with limited carries. Isaac Garendo says, let me take over. And the Cards have a 27-3 lead with 6:58 left to play in quarter 3. PAT's up. It's a line drive that hits the Hokies right up front and misses. Boy, you rarely ever see that. Brock Holstead's a guy that does it all. He punts, he kicks off, and he place kicks for the Cardinals. It's the Brock Holstead show, and that one he wishes he could have back, so it keeps it a 27-3 game.
That's one of the funnier college football plays I've ever seen. Just drilled the back of the offensive line. Never got 2 yards above the... All right. Well, the score is 27-3, and that means that the score is still a 3-score game theoretically. So
true.
Not that that's going to be a detrimental miss, but Virginia Tech's still within 3 scores at the moment.
Nick, we'll keep it here. 26 carries, 176 yards on the ground for the Louisville Cardinals. It felt like at this point in the season, Virginia Tech had kind of figured out how to stop the run. That was a weak spot for them. Early, they seemed to be bettering themselves in that department. Held Syracuse to 0 rushing yards a week ago, and Louisville just gashing the Hokies on the ground this afternoon.
Yeah, just, when you've got 2 great running backs with Garendo and specifically Jordan, it's hard to stop. Virginia Tech couldn't stop Trey Benson. They couldn't stop Kyle Monungai of Rutgers, who, by the way, is a very good running back.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Rashid Ali with Marshall, also a fantastic running back for the Thundering Herd. All 3 of those guys ran wild and free over Virginia Tech's defense, and Virginia Tech hasn't faced an elite running back in 3 of the last 4 games. The only one they faced was Trey Benson at Florida State. They're facing one here, and well, now they're getting gashed by elite running backs, and that's really the biggest thing that they're going to have to look at on the in the offseason, and they've got to fix that if they want to start winning ball games at a higher rate. They are 4-4. They have turned the corner, but they have a very manageable final 3 games of the season. No elite running backs in the final 3 games of the season for Virginia Tech, but
An elite quarterback next week.
True.
That can run the football.
That is true. But if they want to win football games at a higher rate next year, they're going to have to stop the run and win on the road.
Yeah, no doubt. How about Jack Plummer? Really just doing a good job engineering the offense, not doing too much. 9 of 10, 125 yards for a score, letting his running backs carry the load. I got a trivia question for you here, Nick. He was 7 for 7 in the first half, which was perfect. Who was the last quarterback to play against Virginia Tech and go 7 for 7 in a half of football without throwing an incomplete pass?
God, jeez. That could be anybody.
It's not as old as you'd think.
Well, I'm assuming it was probably 2 or 3 years ago.
You're close.
Probably 4. I don't know.
For the sake of time, it was Tyler Van Dyke of Miami last year inside Lane Stadium.
Yeah.
He had a strong start against
Virginia Tech
the Hokies.
almost came back and won that game as well.
And he threw an incomplete pass on the 8th passing attempt, which so did Jack Plummer. Yeah, there you go. Well, Louisville will boot this football back away to Virginia Tech. Giovanni Heater joined alongside Nick Brown with you from L&N Financial Credit Union Stadium. 6:58 left to go in quarter number 3. The Cardinals leading it in the Derby City, running away with it, 27-3. Holstead, swing of the leg, kick high into the air, end over end, taken by Bayshul, 2 yards into his own end zone. He'll take it out across the 10, tripped up at about the 14-yard line. Tootin tried to make something out of nothing, and it's going to cost Virginia Tech about 11 yards here.
Yeah, that was a mistake right there by Bayshul. Tootin. He's returned the other few kicks pretty darn well, but that one, it just developed too slowly.
Well, they give him the 15-yard line here. That is where the drive will start for this Virginia Tech offense, who has sputtered really all day long. One good drive that put up 3 and stalled out in the red zone. 2 receivers to each side. Now a receiver in motion. Shotgun snap back to Drones. Play action fake. Dumps it out to Jalen Lane on the near sideline. Outside the numbers. Tricked up at about the 20-yard line. Gain of a couple for Virginia Tech on first down. 2nd down and 5 now coming up from the 20. Jalen Alderman in on the stop for Louisville. 4-man front for the Cards. Press coverage on the near side, soft coverage on the far side. 2 safeties back. Kyron Drones in the shotgun. 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Malachi Thomas in on this drive at the right hip of Kyron Drones. 2nd and 5. Receiver in motion. There's a snap to Drones. Hands it off, jet sweep. Jalen Lane on the near sideline. Dances across the 25. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Storm Duck, the transfer out of North Carolina, in on the stop. It's a first down Hokies.
Yeah, this whole Louisville roster is kind of a hodgepodge of Power 5 transfers, and they've proved to be very successful. A lot of great plug-and-play additions from the offseason.
That's a new era of college football with a first-year head coach, Jeff Brown. Took the Purdue Boilermakers to the Big Ten championship game, champs of the Big Ten West a year ago. 4 bowl games in his time at Purdue as well. 2 receivers to each side. Thomas at the left hip of Drones. Shotgun snap. Drones drops back, fires to the right sideline. Complete. Quan Felton crossed the 35-yard line, and he's driven out of bounds. Quincy Riley on the stop for Louisville, and it's another first down for Virginia Tech. They'll spot him out of bounds at the 38-yard line. The Hokies putting together a little bit of a drive. Back-to-back first downs on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, encouraging right there after a tough last 2 drives. Continue the momentum. You put points on the board here, anything can happen in the 4th.
From the near hash, moving left to right. Tight end in motion, it's Daquan Wright. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shotgun snap back to Drones. And it's a handoff. Malachi Thomas tripped up and shoved down at the 40-yard line. Thomas gains 2. Gang tackle by the Cardinals. Looked like the first one to get up there was Desmond Tell Jr. Big body up front. 2nd down and 8 for Virginia Tech from their own 40.
Yeah, Des Tell, 3 years ago, had a tackle against the Hokies back in 2020. 2 very different teams from 3 years ago.
27-3, Cardinals lead it with 4.5 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. 4-man front for the Cards, pair of safeties back, soft coverage on the outside. An audible here by Kyron Drones. He's got Thomas at his left hip with 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun snap, Drones dropping back, fires far sideline, incomplete. Looking for Stephen Gosnell outside the numbers. In coverage, it was Quincy Riley Jr. Brings up 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8.
This is a stifling defense, and they've held Virginia Tech for 1 for 6 on previous third downs today.
Clock stopped at 4:19 left to go in the third. 27-3 the lead. Trips at the far side, one to the near side. Right hip, it's Malachi Thomas, set to the side of Kyron Drones. 5-man front, Louisville showing blitz with just one safety back. Press coverage on the near side, soft on the far side. 3rd down and 8. You can hear it in the Ville. Shotgun snap back to Drones. Pressure coming. Drones escaping, throws it away. Kyron Drones had to throw it away. Big pressure up front. The blitz worked out for him. 4th down.
Yeah, just came in a heartbeat. No one picked up the free coming.
There is no foul for intentional grounding as the passer was outside the tackle box. 3rd down. 4th down.
So outside the tackle box there. Drones let it fly. Another stalled out drive. And well, you can just feel today's Louisville's day, and they're going to continue on their tear in a quest to the ACC title game and try to knock off the Seminoles.
Jeff Brom wanted an intentional grounding. The refs didn't give it to him. Peter Moore, a sky-high boot into the air. It doinks down at about the 38-yard line, and it is fallen upon by Malachi Thomas and Jaden Keller at about the 25. That is where Plummer and company will come on out with 4:05 left to play in the third quarter, fostering a 27-3 lead. It is all Louisville in the Derby City, Nick.
Yeah, Virginia Tech finally eclipsing 100 total yards on the game, only 105. I think today is really proving how good this Louisville defense really is.
On the other side, 301 yards of total offense for the Cards. 125 through the air, 176 on the ground, and it's been Isaac Garendo doing it all. 10 rushes, 110 yards, 2 tutties. Under center, it's Plummer from the far hashes, moving right to left. Plummer hands it off, bouncing it out to the right side. New tailback in the ball game for the Cardinals. Gains about 2. Maurice Turner, the sophomore, checks on in. His first carry of the ball game this afternoon.
Another great running back for the Cardinals. Last year in the bowl game, he had 160 yards on 31 carries against Cincinnati. So Louisville really with 3 very capable running backs.
Clock continues to tick, just south of 3.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. 4-man front for Tech. Shotgun snap back to Plummer. Play action fake. Pressure comes. He takes off with his legs, and he's wrapped up after a gain of about a half a yard. Really just got back to the line of scrimmage here. In on the stop initially up front, Feldarius Payne for the Hokies. Now 2 receivers lined up at the bottom, twins at the top as well. Shotgun formation. Turner at the left hip of Plummer. 4-man front for Tech. Pair of safeties back with soft coverage on the receivers on the outside. Between the hashes, moving right to left of the Cards. Snap back to Plummer. Plummer drops back in the pocket, dumps it out to Turner in the flat. Turner got some speed across the 30-yard line, taken down by Dorian Strong. Taken down right at the numbers by Dorian Strong, able to gain about 5. It brings up 3rd down, an injured Cardinal down on the field.
That's a Hokie over there.
Oh, it is. You're right.
Can't see the number at the very moment. Doesn't seem to be good as people rush into him, laying face down.
An opportunity for us to step aside up here in the booth. 2:37 left to go in quarter number 3. Louisville leading it 27-3 over Virginia Tech in this massive ACC clash. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to college football on 3304 Sports.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation today.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
Welcome back here. Alan Tisdale ushered off the field safely as Tucker Holloway makes a fair catch at the 23-yard line. That is where the drive will start for Kyron Drones and company. Our apologies for coming late out of the timeout, Nick. You can really never tell with those injury timeouts. Nevertheless, the Virginia Tech offense set to take the field once again. Able to get the defense off the field, trailing this thing 27-3. We'll see what the approach is here with 1:52 left to go in the third quarter. Now, we know the beauty of college football is you're never out of it. At the same time, there is thought. You got to go play again next week, and they matter. Virginia Tech 4-4 on the year, still has a big opportunity to make a bowl game. Receiver in motion, moving left to right. Here are the Hokies. Kyron Drones drops back. It's out into the flat halfback screen, and it's read all the way. Maybe a gain of about a half a yard for Virginia Tech as Bayshul Tootin fights his way as forward as he can across the 20-yard line. Read all the way by Storm Duck and company. Brings up second down and long.
Yeah, Louisville's defense just feasting on these Tech plays. Hardly anything going for Virginia Tech.
From the near hash, moving left to right. Two at the top, Twins at the bottom as well. Tootin at the left hip of Kyron Drones, who's lined up in the shotgun. Five-man front for the Cards with a safety back. Shotgun snap back to Drones. Drones looking right, takes off with his legs across the 25-yard line. Now across the 30, bodies his way down to the 35. They'll say he loses the football. Hokies fall on it anyways. Bayshul Tootin was there to clean up the mess. So we will see where they spot this thing, because Tootin actually grabbed an extra 5 yards while falling on the football that actually moved forward. And it looks like they do spot it where Drones was down initially at the 35.
Yeah, Cameron Kelly right there at the big hit. It was ball came out really late, so I would like to say that he was down.
Twins at the bottom, Gosnell at the top. Four-man front for the Cards, showing pressure with a safety back. Bayshul Tootin at the right hip of Kyron Drones in the shotgun, moving left to right between the hashes with 32 seconds and counting left to go in the third quarter, trailing 27-3. Shotgun snap back to Kyron Drones. Drones facing pressure, and he's sacked all the way back at the 19-yard line. Big push up front by a pesky defensive unit. Raymond Puryear Jr., sack number 2 on the day.
Doubling his sack count on the season with another one right there. Drones has just really struggled holding on to the football too long today. That's been his biggest issue.
And now a timeout for both teams as the third quarter comes to an end. 15 minutes left. It's all Louisville in the Derby City, 27-3. An impressive performance all afternoon long by the 13th ranked team in the country. We'll step aside and we'll be back for the fourth quarter of action. You're listening to college football right here on 3304 Sports.
Hey, sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
What a scene here in Louisville as the 13th-ranked Cardinals have a 27-3 lead over the Virginia Tech Hokies as we enter the fourth quarter of action from L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium. Giovanni Heater joined alongside Nick Brown with you. Man, Joker and the Thief blaring through the air here in Louisville, pumping up the crowd, and the Cards have ridden that momentum. It's their entrance song. They've done so all day long, Nick.
Yeah, they've dominated from the opening kickoff to the final whistle of the third quarter. One more quarter of play to move on to 8-1 on the season. Only one slip-up at Pitt. Man, you got to wonder where these Cards would be ranked right now if they didn't drop that one to the Panthers.
You'd be talking college football playoff conversation. Well, Virginia Tech does have the football between the hashes, moving right to left, trailing it 27-3. 15 minutes left to go in the ball game. Two receivers to each side. Malachi Thomas into the right hip of Kyron Drones. Four-man front for the Cards. Two safeties back. Shotgun snap with a clap of the hands for Drones. He fires over the middle, complete. Stephen Gosnell across the 25. Breaks a tackle at the 30 and his pile drive down right at the 31.
That was a great pickup right there underneath. Great effort by Stephen Gosnell to muster out every last yard you could right there and make this much more manageable than it was prior.
Still third down and long for Virginia Tech. 3rd and 13. Ball spotted at their own 32-yard line.
How about this?
Looking for the 45. Go ahead, Nick.
Both teams combined 3 of 13 conversion rates on third down.
Showing blitz of the Cards. Shotgun snap back to Kyron Drones. Obvious passing situation. He rolls out to the right. Drones. And he just flips it out of bounds. Lives to fight another day. Hokies will punt.
Nothing going today for Virginia Tech's offense. Cardinals have game planned so incredibly well for this game.
No doubt about it, they have. Peter Moore has been a busy boy for the Hokies. Junior captain of the special teams unit. Back deep to return, the speedy return man Kevin Coleman hasn't really had many opportunities today. Curious to see what they'll do offensively here. Maybe let some other guys get some reps if you're the Cardinals. Holding on to this 27-3 lead. Here's a snap. Punt is up in the air, a spiraling punt. Coleman signals for a fair catch, and he makes that fair catch at his own 26. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistles between Virginia Tech and Louisville. But they do send out their starting quarterback in Jack Plummer. He will be under center from the near hash, moving left to right now. 27-3 the lead. You have to think the first approach is to run the football here.
Yeah, why even throw the football? Plummer, 10 of 11 today. He's looked incredible throwing the ball, but he hasn't been asked to do hardly anything, and he hasn't needed to, so why run away from it?
Shotgun formation, trips at the top, no receivers to the bottom. Now a tight end in motion. Shotgun snap back to Plummer. He hands it off to Ward Jordan. Hole up the middle, and he's ripped down by Kelly Lawson after ripping off 9 on first down. Second down and 1.5 coming up. Kelly Lawson in on the stop. Big gain on the ground for the best tailback in the conference.
He's so quick. So quick. And whoa, they respot that football. It's going to be second down and 3.
Wow, they did respot that football.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. Regardless, 2nd down and 3 now for the Louisville Cardinals. Clock continues to tick. Just south of 13 and a half minutes left to play in the 4th quarter, leading it 27-3. Decked out in their white lids, black jerseys, black bottoms for military appreciation today. The throwback Heisman Cardinal on the helmet, just like at midfield. Under center is Plummer. Boy, they just throw out so many different sets. He takes a snap, hands it off. Jawar Jordan is tripped up just shy of the line to gain. Brings up 3rd down and very, very short, right at the 35. Stopped by Kelly Lawson once again.
Yep, right there in the hole. And I'd be very surprised if they throw this football.
Me too. Why not?
I'll be mad if they throw this football.
How about Jawar Jordan being in the ball game after the game that Isaac Garendo has had? Jawar was questionable coming in with a hamstring and a wrist. You know, Nick, we've talked so much about what this game means for Virginia Tech. How about Louisville? They win today, and it's almost wraps as far as you're going to see Florida State and Louisville square off down in Charlotte in December for the ACC championship. First, though, it's a 3rd down and 1. Need one more from their own 35. Trickeration, and they got the tight end down in the backfield. Keonta Jenkins blew it up. Joey Gatewood took the handoff, and why run a trick play there when you don't need to? And instead, they lose 3, and they're going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, I really am not sure what they overthought that one. That's all it was. You're averaging just about 6 yards per carry. It's a 3rd and 1. You got one of the best running backs in the best running back in the conference, and that's surprising. That was a very bizarre call right there.
Brock Travelstead out to punt this football away. Tucker Holloway back deep to return, standing at his own 25-yard line. Sky-high punt way up into the air. Kind of a wobbly punt that doinks down at the 35 and trickles all the way down to the 24-yard line. That is where Kyron Jones and company will start. How about the story on Joey Gatewood, the tight end that just took that thing out in motion before on the 3rd down? Very interesting, Nick. He started his career as a quarterback under Gus Malzahn. Think about how long ago that was at Auburn. Then he stayed in the SEC as a quarterback at the University of Kentucky. Then he took it to the UCF as a quarterback still. And now he is a 2nd-string tight end at Louisville. I mean, talk about a journeyman in the modern era of college football.
Yeah, and he's not really playing all that much with Louisville. He's got a catch today. That's his 3rd of the season. Former 4-star. He was one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks coming out of his class in high school. And here he is playing tight end. And, we see it with Logan Thomas at with Washington Commanders, who is a fantastic quarterback at Virginia Tech. And if you just got to build like that, if you can run well, then might as well shift over the tight end where you could be productive. We see Phil Dracovic. He's shifting over to tight end there for Pittsburgh, and, it could work out for him, could not. So, you see quite a bit of former quarterbacks becoming tight ends just because of the builds. But Joey Gatewood, how many schools? Is that 4? Yeah. 4th school in 5 years. Some people just get antsy at a place.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Isaac Garendo has been the workhorse for the Louisville Cardinals. 10 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Jawar Jordan actually has more carries, 14 for 57. He has a touchdown as well. It's just been a day full of explosive offense for Louisville.
Yeah, big plays again, gashing Virginia Tech. Everybody thought the Hokies had figured it out and fixed it, but, well, they haven't. And it is what it is. And, at the moment, you just hope that nobody really gets injured. And Virginia Tech will have 3 games, and they need to win 2 of them to go bowling. It'll be Boston College, who's looking pretty formidable now. So it'll be BC, then it'll follow up with NC State for Senior Day, and then over to UVA on the road. You got to win 2 of those. Louisville, if they win out and if they pull off a win over Florida State, there's an outside chance that they get into the college football playoff.
With a 1-loss record, you'd have to think there's definitely a chance.
It's a bad loss to Pittsburgh. It sucks, but hey, if you pull it off, you pull it off.
11:33 left to go in the 4th quarter. 27-3. Louisville with a lead over Virginia Tech. Hokies have the football now. From the far hash, moving right to left. Set up at their own 24-yard line. Kyron Drones claps his hands, takes a shotgun snap. Pressure coming. Drones takes off with his legs up the middle. He darts across the 25 and spins down at the 27-yard line. Tackle on the play up front made by Jalen Alderman for the Louisville Cardinals. Kyron Drones able to bite off about 4 yards, brings up 2nd and 6.
Still a 3-score game. That missed extra point.
And a missed field goal.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the top, 3 to the bottom. Empty backfield, and it's a halfback screen out to the near side. Bayshore Tootin fumbles the football after a catch, falls on top of it at the 25. They might even call this incomplete, and they do.
Yeah, I was about to say he never had that football in his hand and just ran into the back of Stephen Gosnell right there. Another quick 3-and-out if they can't convert here. Virginia Tech 1 for 8 on 3rd down efficiency today, and just nothing going for the offense.
Clock is stopped at 10:55 left to go in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. Bayshore Tootin at the left hip of Kyron Drones from the near hash. 4-man front for the Cards, showing blitz off the edge with a 5th man in motion and a safety back. Press coverage. Jalen Lane, the receiver, in motion. Shotgun snap back to Kyron Drones. Drones firing. He hooks up with Lane at the 35, who is spun down right at the 35-yard line, enough for a 1st down. Got 1 more than he needed. Devin Neal Jr. on the tackle. Hokies move the chains.
Yeah, nice play there. Jalen Lane is just so quick, especially when he comes in motion. You never know where he's going to line up, and just darts over the middle, and nice little pickup there for the Hokies.
Dead even between the hashes of the Hokies, right to left. 2 receivers to the far side. Gosnell lined up to the near side. Bayshore Tootin in the backfield. Shotgun snap back to Drones. He dumps it out to the Tootin, who makes a catch at the 38 and is shoved out of bounds right across the 40-yard line at the 41. Ushered away by Benjamin Perry, the star in there at the linebacker spot for Louisville. Clock continues to tick. South at 10:10 left to go in the 4th quarter. 27-3. Louisville leads it over Virginia Tech here in quarter number 4. 5-man front for the Cards. Just 1 safety back. 2 receivers to the far side. 1 to the near side with a tight end as well. Snap back to Drones. Drones looking right. Takes off with his legs instead. Across the 40-yard line. Dives head first down to the 45. Big contact with Ashton Gelati as well as Raymond Puryear. Kyron Drones able to gain a handful. It brings up now 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2 to be exact. Shotgun formation, 1 at the top, 2 to the bottom. Tootin in the backfield. 5-man front for the Cards, 1 safety back. Press coverage on the near side. Press coverage on the far side as well. The lone receiver at the top is Quan Felton. Shotgun snap back to Drones. They rush just 4. Drones airing it out down the left sideline. It is incomplete. Overthrew Jalen Lane by about a half a yard. Deep in coverage was Antonio Watts, the sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia. It brings up 4th down and short.
Yeah, you saw Jalen Lane had the press coverage. You know he's fast. He had the extra step there. Just couldn't get enough air under it. Just missed him barely.
Another 5-man front for the Cardinals. Trips to the near side. 1 receiver to the far side. Holy cow, a 7-man front for Louisville, showing all the pressure in the world. Hokies need 2. Lined up at their own 45. They got to get their way to the 47 or better. Kyron Drones in the shotgun, not close enough for a tush push. And a timeout is called. Brent Pry wants to talk things over. Boy, Louisville literally showed a 7-man front, and Virginia Tech didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, everybody was just showing face there. Virginia Tech was never going to snap that football. They were just going to call the timeout and punt the ball away.
Oh, I agree with you. And any other point in the ball game, you got to think, though, down 27-3, you have to go for it, right?
Yeah.
This is 4 down. I mean, it was 4 down territory a drive or 2 ago.
Yeah.
With 9:13 left to go, we'll take a short break here in Louisville. 27-3, the Cards dominating in their home stadium. Back in 60 seconds, this is college football on 3304 Sports.
Hey, sports fans, be sure to check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kick...
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
No white flag yet from Virginia Tech, trailing at 27-3. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 2 from their own 45-yard line, looking for the 47. Receiver to the far side is Quan Felton. 2 receivers to the near side. It's Gosnell and Jalen Lane. 5-man front for Louisville, showing pressure with 1 safety back. Shotgun snap. Drones drops back to throw, gets it out to Bayshore, 2, and on the far side, and he's taken down, loss of 3 on 4th down. Cardinals are going to take over.
I am so impressed by this Louisville defense. Storm ducked in there, by the way, for the tackle. Just swarming to the football. They could taste it. I really, that Pitt game is so unexplainable because Virginia Tech blew out Pitt the week before. Pitt blew out Louisville. I mean, it's just, I really can't explain that game because this team right here in front of us is a top 10 team. Louisville is that darn good.
I can explain that game for you. Jawar Jordan goes out after just 2 carries, and they were forced to throw the football 52 times. Today, Plummer has thrown the ball 11 times. He's 10 for 11, and you know what? It has worked. Plummer in the pistol. 2 receivers to each side. Here's a shotgun snap. He dumps it out to the right side, complete to Bell. At about the 44-yard line, ushered out of bounds by Jalen Jones of Virginia Tech. Gain of about 8, 2nd and 2 coming up, already set up in enemy territory.
I mean, it's nothing flashy. It's kind of a boring offense if you want to take a look at it. But it's effective. It's beaten teams. It's destroyed Notre Dame. They're effective, and they're going to be good under Jeff Brom. They're going to be really good under Jeff Brom.
Yeah, Louisville could be a team that's a force to be reckoned with in the future for the ACC, no doubt about it. Jawar Jordan, just a junior on this team. Receiver to each side, heavy set in the middle. 4-man front for Virginia Tech. Under center, it's Plummer. He hands it off. Garendo up the middle, breaks a tackle. Garendo into the second level. 5 into the end zone. Isaac Garendo. A hat trick of touchdowns in the Derby City.
And that'll do it right there, folks. Nice play. Garendo, what a game. Kind of mad that they took him out in the 3rd quarter and played Jordan. Garendo is having such a monster game, and, well, he continues it. 146 yards, a career day for the man. 3 touchdowns. Just all over the field today.
An explosive running attack has dominated the Hokies today as the PAT splits the uprights. 34-3, the new score. Here in Louisville, the Cards dominating over the Hokies. 216 yards on the ground, 146 using the legs of Isaac Garendo on 11 carries, and he has 3 touchdowns, Nick.
This is a beatdown, folks. This is about as dominant as a win can be, and still have 8:16 to go, and I don't think Louisville's done. They want to keep pouring this thing on, man.
The stand's starting to clear out here in the Derby City. We'll step aside back in about 2.5 minutes. This is college football on 3304 Sports.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
The 2023 Virginia Tech football season is loaded with exciting matchups every weekend on 3304 Sports. Non-conference opponents like Purdue, Rutgers, and Marshall won't disappoint. In ACC play, the Hokies host Pitt, Wake Forest, NC State, and Syracuse, while taking road trips to Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, and Virginia. Week in and week out, we'll have all the play-by-play action right here on 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
Do you love pregame shows like College Game Day, Sunday NFL Countdown, and Big Noon Kickoff? Boy, do we have the show for you. Tune into the 3304 Kickoff Show every Friday afternoon on the 3304 Sports YouTube channel. We talk all things Virginia Tech Hokies football all the time. Feature stories, panelist discussions, opponent analysis, and so much more. The 3304 Sports Kickoff Show, your pregame destination for college football, week in and week out.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
$27-3 was the score, and now a blowout, 34-3.
This year,
it's the big lead for the Louisville Cardinals over the Virginia Tech Hokies, as Virginia Tech going to take a kick return from their own 2-yard line. And boy, Dawan Lofton gets laid out at about the 18-yard line by the special teams unit. It's falling apart for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, this is
the receiver, Bell, in on the stop.
Yeah, this is a dominant game right here. It's about as dominant as you can get over a Power 5 opponent. Louisville looks like they're the real deal.
The crazy thing, Nick, is Grant Wells is going into the ball game right now. A guy that was knocked out against Purdue earlier this season, lower body injury. Now Kyron Drone's out of the game, and Grant Wells is in under center for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Transfer from Marshall, was the starter to begin the year. Shotgun snap back to Grant Wells, moving right to left of the Hokies, hands it off Bryce Duke, gains about a half of a yard, taken down at his own 19-yard line.
I didn't see that coming.
Me neither. That was a curveball. I was getting ready to talk about how they played Enter Sandman.
Holy cow.
Which is the anthem of the Hokies, and felt just a little disrespectful. Nevertheless,
Mariano Rivera did it first.
That's true.
Anybody could play it.
Two receivers to each side, 4-man front for the Cards with a safety back. Grant Wells takes a shotgun snap. Boy, I can't believe I'm saying that. Fires over the middle, complete to the big tight end, Stephen Gosnell, who's decked down at the 30-yard line. Lost the football after his knees went down, so I believe they're actually going to say this is incomplete, and they are.
Yeah, he never held on to it to the ground, and it's a pretty good laser right there by Grant Wells. Looked a little mobile in the pocket, and oh, man, there's going to be some riled-up people after this decision.
No, Kyron Drones is your quarterback in Blacksburg. You're crazy. You're crazy. Two receivers to the far side. One of them's the big-bodied tight end in Benji Gosnell. Two receivers to the near side as well. From the far hash, it's 3rd down and 9. Shotgun snap back to Grant Wells. Grant Wells gives it out into the flat. Here's Bryce Duke, across the 20. Meets a gang of swarming Louisville Cardinals. Gains about a yard. 4th down, Tech's going to punt.
I mean, Virginia Tech I really have never seen a game like this where one team literally can't do a single thing.
Anemic. Looks a lot like last year, which feels like a step in the wrong direction.
It seems worse than last year. There has been one drive by Virginia Tech that has looked promising, and they got a field goal out of it. This is
Tell you what, though,
crazy.
I think this is somewhat about Virginia Tech, more about how darn good Louisville is. I mean, wow.
Louisville is the real deal, folks.
And they're without their top receiver, Jamari Thrash, by the way. Here's a punt by Peter Moore. High into the air, going to be a short punt. Fair catch is signaled for, and it doinks down, hits a Louisville body. It hit the foot of Bell, but it goes out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Boy, a little bit of a scare if you're the Cards. They lead it 34-3 with 6:41 left to go, and I believe we're getting another media timeout here. And we are. We step aside from the Derby City, 34-3. It's all Louisville here at LNN Federal Credit Union Stadium.
Check out 3304 Sports on social media so you don't miss any of our awesome content. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 3304 Sports. From pre- and post-game stand-ups to links for articles and studio shows, the 3304 Sports social media team has you covered. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
This year, 3304 Sports is attacking the 2023 football season with a brand new goal. Our mission is to cover all 12 Virginia Tech football games and an eventual bowl game to close the season. But we need your help. Please consider donating to our GoFundMe page, where your contributions will go towards covering travel costs for our student journalists this football season. From hotels to transportation, every little bit helps. Head to our social media pages and click the link to donate today.
This fall, 3304 Sports has partnered up with Tech Sideline. Established in 1996, Tech Sideline is the premier media outlet covering all things Virginia Tech athletics. Many of our 3304 Sports broadcasters intern with TSL and produce student-led content, such as Triumph Spotlight, TSL Today, social media exclusives, and the Tech Sideline podcast. Tech Sideline, all Hokie, all the time.
3304 Sports has established itself as one of the elite student sports journalism outlets in the industry. Home to All-American broadcasters and award-winning writers, 3304 Sports is the spot for student coverage of Virginia Tech athletics. From live play-by-play broadcasting to beat writing, feature articles, studio shows, and more. Every touchdown, every buzzer beater, every win, we're there. 3304 Sports, your home for collegiate sports coverage.
You're tuned into college football on 3304 Sports. Let's get back to the action.
(34-3), Louisville dominating over Virginia Tech with 6:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. Giovanni Heater alongside Nick Brown with you. Backup quarterback in the ball game for the Louisville Cardinals, Harrison Bailey in the pistol set. Receiver to the far side with a tight end to the near side. A four-man front for Virginia Tech with a pair of safeties back, and you got to think the Cardinals looking to just run out the clock here effectively. And a pistol snap. Hands it off, and Turner, the tailback in the ball game as well, meets a wall. Dante Lovett was the first to get there with Feldarius Payne, and Jaden McDonald ends up losing 3. It brings up second down now and 13.
And get some very valuable snaps here for both teams right here for the young guns.
Brock Doman, the quarterback in the ball game, scratched that. Harrison Bailey looked like he was going out to take the snaps, and they kind of made that late switch. Maybe just trying to throw the Hokies off guard a little bit, or actual miscommunication, because it is listed on the depth chart, Doman or Bailey. So
or, the big or word that a lot of coaches
yes,
have been using this year.
You know, that's the new modern era of college football. You don't got to give away any secrets.
Just say or.
Four-man front for Tech. A shotgun snap handoff. Turner's got a burst of speed across the 40, and he darts down to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Maurice Turner, he's not a step lower than.
No.
He's right there with Jordan and Garendo. He can bust a big one, too, if he wants.
Little smaller, 5'10", 190, the sophomore out of Nichols, Georgia. Ran for 300 yards last year, though, here at Louisville. Kind of had to take a step back right when Garendo transferred in from Wisconsin. A little bit of a reality check for him, but stayed here, stuck with it, wanted to be a part of this team under first-year head coach Jeff Brom, and paying off because with Jordan limited carries today, a little banged up, he's getting to see some big action.
Yeah, Jordan will be gone next year, most likely to the league.
Receiver to each side. Shotgun snap, handoff Turner. Pre-snap penalty. Flag in the air. He gains about 1. I don't know if it will count.
Yeah, offsides. Good call. Good call, Mr. Heater.
Hey!
Got an eye for the game.
You know, we've watched a lot of football, I will say. 5:01, by the way, left to go in the fourth quarter. It is 34-3. The Cardinals absolutely impressive. Nick, you think they got a chance at the college football playoff if they can beat Florida State?
Well,
in the ACC
Florida State.
Offside. Defense number 1.
Yeah.
That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
There it is. There it is. So on third down, the penalty gives up a first down.
Well, I tell you what, Florida State only up 10-7 in the fourth quarter over Pitt.
Something about going to Acrisure this year.
Yeah, it's where dreams go to die. So that's if Florida State first off has to win that game, and then if Louisville knocks them off in the championship, then you could talk about it. But if Florida State loses today, then heck no.
Here's a snap handoff to Turner. He is taken down right at the line of scrimmage, just shy of the 50-yard line. Big hit laid by Greenwood and Mose Phillips. Dante Lovett in there as well. So it'll be from the near hash, second down and 10 coming up. They got him right at the line of scrimmage. 4-man front for Virginia Tech. 2 safeties back. Soft coverage on each side. And it looks like we lost our crowd mic, Nick.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. 34-3 your score. 4:06 left to play. Well, if it was going to happen, at least it happens now.
Yeah. Well, all the fans are leaving right now, too.
Pistol formation. Here is a play-action fake. Dump out to the right side. Caught by the big-bodied tight end, Nick Kirksey. And he's knocked out of bounds shy of the 40. Got almost enough for a first down, and it looks like they're going to spot him a half a yard short on the near sideline.
Yeah.
And now they do move the chains.
Yeah, he got banged up, too, on that play. He
at
came
first,
up limping.
the ref had signaled and pointed the opposite direction. And it is a first down for Louisville. 3:28 and counting left to go in the fourth quarter. Both teams have essentially put in their backups on the depth chart. Virginia Tech has waved the white flag. 2 receivers to the far side. Under center, it's Brock Doman in the ball game. Turner behind him. He turns around, hands off the football. Turner darts to the 40-yard line. Flag has flown. After a gain of about 1 yard, we'll see what they call this.
Yeah, it's going to come on back with the holding. Tell you what, Louisville is going to have a legit chance to show the college football world against Florida State. This team has the firepower and the defense to beat Florida State.
Even without Jamari Thrash?
Even without. They can do it. And they can easily beat Florida State in that title game. And if they do that, and if they do it convincingly, this team has a legit chance at the playoffs.
2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Turner at the left hip of Doman. 4-man front for Tech, pair of safeties back. Receiver in motion. Shotgun snap back to Doman. He hands it off Turner. Big hole up the middle, across the 50, and is wrapped up at the last second by Jaden Keller. Ends up gaining about 6. 2:30 and counting left to go in the fourth quarter. 34-3. Brings up second down and 20, Nick.
15. They didn't change it yet.
There you go. 2 safeties back. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. From the near hash, here come the Cards. Doman in the pistol set, Turner behind him. Tech showing blitz, snap back to Doman, Tech will blitz. It's a handoff to Turner. Turner, burst of speed, going outside the numbers and is cut down right at the original line of scrimmage, just shy of the 40-yard line at about the 42. Caleb Woodson in on the tackle for Virginia Tech. Turner in the ball game. Isaac Garendo led the way. 11 carries, 146 yards. Maurice Turner now up to 13 yards. Has had a handful of carries where he's lost yardage, which has kind of plagued his statistics thus far today. From the far hash, 3rd down and 10. Shotgun snap back to Doman. Hands it off Turner. Bounces it to the left side, outside the numbers, taken down by Dante Lovett. After maybe a half a yard, brings up 4th down.
Under a minute go, 34-3. I have not been as impressed with the team as I have been all year till watching this game.
48 seconds left, 34-3. Got to snap the ball one more time if you're the Cards. Tucker Holloway back deep to return. What do you do here? Take a knee? I mean, that would stop the clock, give Tech the ball back. I guess you punt it.
They'll punt it, and Tech will probably take the knee. Gotta get this. Yeah, I was about to say, gotta get this off.
So it is a boot. Tucker Holloway takes it at the 1-yard line. Holloway up the middle, and he runs into a wall. He squirms away from it on the far sideline, and is taken down at the 18. Boy, looked dangerous for just a split second there. Tech will have 11 seconds. They'll likely just extinguish it with a knee. 34-3, Louisville leads.
Just got to regroup, man. If you're Virginia Tech, you got to regroup and shift your focus towards next week and just get ready for Boston College. Still plenty of football to be played. You got a bowl game in sight if you got to win 2 more.
Hokies brought back down to earth a little bit here, it's fair to say.
Certainly, indeed, and they're not quite there yet, but they will be. They will be eventually, but got to win 2 games. 2 very winnable games on the next 3 weeks as well.
Grant Wells takes a shotgun snap. He hands it off, and Chance Black is taken down at the line of scrimmage. That'll do it. Dominance in the Derby City by the Cardinals. 34-3, the final score. Louisville looks like a team that can certainly contend for an ACC championship. They now hold sole possession of second place in the conference. A dominant win for Louisville this afternoon, Nick.
Certainly, indeed. There's not a stat that you can look at today and say Virginia Tech won it. 382 total yards to 140.
I got one. Punts.
Punts and
Tech won punts.
Well, and Virginia Tech and Louisville tied for 3rd down conversions today.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Big one.
There you go. Well, both these teams back in action again next week. Matter of fact, for Virginia Tech, it's a road trip up to Chestnut Hill. They will play against Boston College on the road. Back-to-back road conference games for the Hokies. And on the other side, it'll be Louisville with another home game. They play host to the Cavaliers of Virginia next week. So they play the Commonwealth on back-to-back weeks, and we'll see how that all shapes up next week. Hey, I got to say, Virginia has kind of played spoiler as of late. Ended up with an upset win against North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, and they nearly knocked off Miami, a disappointing one down in Coral Gables.
Yeah, a little frisky are the Who's this year, and taking on Georgia Tech today, and they'll have a chance to play spoiler again. I don't think that. I don't think they're gonna. I think this Louisville team should run through them, and then Louisville will have an SEC test to end it versus Kentucky in the in-state clash. But after that, I don't think they've. Louisville should be representing the ACC in the championship game against Florida State. That should be it. That should be the clash in Charlotte this year.
Worth noting here, Nick, Josh Fuga did not play in the second half. He is in sweatpants, heading to the locker room.
Big loss for Tech there.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Injury.
No doubt about it. Well, the final score from Louisville, 34-3. Buddy, it has been fun.
It has been fun. It was a fast game. Holy cow.
It was.
Less than 3 hours.
Holy cow. That is very, very
2
fast.
2 hours, 50 minutes. I'll take that.
Time for some bourbon? Just
Maybe.
kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All jokes. 34-3, the final score here in the Bourbon City, the Derby City, Louisville. Absolutely looks composed, like they could win an ACC championship. Dominance across the board for everybody back in the studio that makes things possible. Thank you so much to everybody here in Louisville for the fantastic hospitality. The food was absolutely
Incredible.
unbelievable. One of our favorite spots that we have traveled in our college careers here at
Certainly
3304 Sports. So we are just beyond grateful to be here, Mr. Sports Director.
Excited to be right on back here in a couple of years, of course. And, these two teams will face off next year in Lane Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. For my broadcast partner up to my left, Mr. Nick Brown, I'm Giovanni Heater saying so long and good night from Louisville. 34-3, the final score. The Cards win it over the Hokies.